Yo ho! Hi! Hello everyone! It's Wednesday! Oh my gosh! Hi! Good day, good evening to everybody! Hello, hello! Noriboshi-san! Ariel, it's so good to see you! Hi! Hello! Welcome in everyone. I see Cappy, Nimby. Ariel's here with us. Aunt Lee. Hi. It's very good to see everyone. Oh my god. It's Wednesday. It's finally Wednesday. I miss you too. Ariel. So nice to see you again. Hello, hello. My goodness, what a day. What a week! What a time! Hello, hello! There's a Bobo2422. We got Lord Umbra. Yo ho! Welcome in. It's good to see everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hi, King! Good to see you. Alright. It is Wednesday. It is the time. Yeah, somehow it's the same day again. Can't escape it. Same time, same place, same shenanigans. Who would have thought? Yes. So today we are going to be exercising, as I have always been doing every Wednesdays around this time. Depending where you are in the world, it's going to be a slightly different time zone, but welcome. Everyone is welcome to join in the exercising. It's very simple. Right here is the exercising routine, which I am so derpy. I have not, every time I end the stream, I just don't touch my computer for a week unless I have to check emails. So it's kind of sad. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just kind of update that. Yeah, please get ready. If you are planning on joining, you are more than welcome to set up what you need. If you're not ready mentally, oh my gosh, this is an interactive stream, I didn't know, that's okay. It's okay, don't worry. This is gonna be a VOD, you can check back on it. It's just to keep people engaged, with exercise, incorporating that into your day. So that's pretty nice. For whatever reason, if there's limitations, whether it's physical or otherwise, all of that, no worries. That's why we kind of have this little beginning section where we just kind of warm up, stretch. But if you need kind of a minute to brace yourself, it's all good. I see Rouge Shady. I just want to say hello to a fellow scholar and all scholars out there and lurkers and listeners and people who are just tuning in. Welcome. Hello, folks. But yeah, so this is the workout routine for those just as a reminder, as everyone is setting up and easing their way into the headspace of what? Exercising, fitness, what? What is happening? Yeah, so we will start with the 5 minutes stretching, and the timer over here is set to 5 minutes. We'll begin that shortly. We're gonna yap while we kind of warm up together. I haven't started the clock yet. We'll kind of just do kind of a brief check-in, nothing too intense, even though there is a lot of intensity going on in everyone's lives, more or less. And then yes, we are going to do a 15-minute something cardio related, whether that's jumping jacks, or if you have a stationary bike, or heck, if you have a treadmill, it's just kind of sitting there collecting dust, you are more than welcome to pull that out, dust it off as we're yapping, kind of set that up for yourself. To use, for your own health. After that, our warm-up will be complete. We will do some push-ups. We're doing 10 repetitions, and that equals 1 set. And we'll do that 3 times, so total we'll be doing 30 push-ups. I will give a warning, I don't like push-ups, but I will do them because I need to build the upper body strength. Yes, that is good. I will eventually I would like to use dumbbells to help with building more of that kind of pectoral and then like bicep, tricep strength. So that will be something to integrate later. Yeah, and then just continuing down this workout routine. Sit-ups, we will be doing sit-ups. I'm more confident in my sit-ups, so that will be no problem for me. If you want to adjust or modify this workout routine for yourself in your own personal use, you're more than welcome to. If you can do more than 10 push-ups, go for it. If you can do other types of push-ups like military or, I don't know, diamond push-ups, go for it, right? If you have that pull-up bar, go ahead and use that. Anything at your disposal. But yeah, so then good old sit-ups. Modifications are cool, no judgment, right? And then we'll end with planks and a cool down where we're going to continue cycling and stretching. So that is going to be the agenda today, and in between there will be some rest breaks, and there will be moments where we might have a topic to discuss, or we will just, you know, no yap, just pain. No, exercise. Yeah. Let me catch up with chat. Yeah, this is very simple. It's a very simple workout routine. Yeah, so let's go ahead. When you're ready, go ahead and let me know how y'all have been. For those who would like to chat, I should probably reach out to Ariel, and one of my goals was to be more present in people's lives, but I'm like so. I think I could do better, but anyways, that's just something I'm reflecting on. So yeah, I'll probably reach out to Ariel. If you guys don't know her, she's super nice. She's still here. Hello friend. Lifetime welcome, just in time. It's going to be another Wednesday workout here. So get your water bottle, get your yoga mat, get whatever equipment, kind of get into that mindset. You know, it's interesting. Exercise is also partly mental. Like, it's like you gotta like kind of, I guess a person who's like naturally inclined to work out and doesn't have to think about it, it's pretty straightforward. But for folks who are like, oh gosh, there's so many little pieces and things like that, then yeah, it can be quite a bit to kind of like sort out. Like, okay, I need a yoga mat. Oh right, I'm gonna need, some exercise clothes. Woo! That kind of thing. You're just here to relax your brain. Okay, you need to make sure you have enough room for yourself. Oh, okay. I appreciate that, Ariel. Thank you. Yeah, and welcome in everyone. I guess we'll go ahead and get started with the stretch. I'm just gonna start. Starts the clock. Let's go. Okay, so for stretches, I prefer like a full body stretch. So if you want to tune in and talk, it's always good to stretch. As I've expressed, I do have some like upper like body tension, like neck, shoulder, that kind of upper bit is I think it's contributing. It's contributed. It's coming from a lot of like stressors, and yeah, a lot of things going on. And I didn't believe for a very long time. I didn't believe that like stress and like mental, emotional distress over a long period of time can result in physical manifestation of pain, aches, things like that. And I think the quick remedy for that is like stretching and doing light movements, light, gentle movements to help kind of keep your body more nimble. So that's something I have continued to talk about. And as we speak, I am stretching. Whether you can see it or not, I am stretching up and out and up and out. Yeah. Arms across the, across the chest, kind of like shoulder, getting a nice stretch there. Shoulder blades, pulling them back, squeezing your shoulder blades to get that upper back exercise. I'm doing this thing because I am seated, where I put one ankle on my thigh and I press down on a knee. Gives a nice little stretch in the back of your thigh and into your glutes. It's a nice stretch there. And then switching legs to do that. Yeah. And then, you know, neck stretches are really good, just rotating gentle movements. So go ahead and do that. If you personally sit in front of a desk a lot, or maybe you are on your feet all day, you know, wiggling your toes, kind of rotating your ankle, giving yourself kind of like your own, I guess it's like acupressure / massage, is very helpful. It's part of self-care. And funny enough, it was like months ago, a while back, I visited like this it's like a temple. It was like a temple, and this old woman was like telling me, oh, you know, people don't take care of their bodies, and yeah, it's like, okay, well, so what are some advice? You know, I asked her for some advice. Oh, what do you do to take care of yourself? And she's like, oh, I do something like acupressure on myself. I was like, oh, so she was showing me. So, you know, we sat down on like little cushions. She took off her shoes and her socks, and then she showed me like, this is how every day I take my foot. She took her foot, and then she rotated her ankle in circles in one direction and then the other. And then what she did is she like, how do I say? She wiggled her own toes, and like she stretched out her toes. And then she also like used her knuckles to kind of press gently on the bottom of her foot. And she was like massaging and doing that kind of acupressure. I was like, oh, interesting. And she's like, this is always very comforting for me at the end of the day. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she says she does that on the other side, other foot. And, you know, it's like a 15-20 minute little ritual for her evening. Yeah, so I was like, oh wow, that's really nice, you know. I think you could do that while watching TV, you know, things like that. So I was like, okay. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so it's pretty nice to kind of have that in mind, like that as like something, I don't know, it's kind of weird to think like, oh, I forgot I can actually, you know, like stretch, or I can like you know, something as simple as like reaching down, touching my toes and stretching out my hamstrings, and you know, remembering that I have this body of mine that's taking care of me as much as I am hopefully taking care of my body with good food, rest, you know, nutrition. It's kind of interesting. I don't think a lot of people think about it in this like so detailed, but then like if you break it down, it kind of makes sense. But it also takes a bit of like recognition and awareness. Awareness, I think, is the key here. Recognizing that, you know, you are a person, and much like a plant that needs to be nurtured and cared, whether if it's yourself or through resources, right? I'm not sure if you guys could hear the little timer, but the timer went off, so that was a good 5-minute stretching exercise. I can still feel a little bit of like tightness on my neck, but that will be addressed. And I have continued incorporating evening stretches as needed in my routine. That has helped. So that's pretty good. I will say that I'm not as ideal. I'm trying to present idealism, but at the same time, I also want to express that I also fall out of my routines, you know, and so I'll wake up and I'm like super achy. I'm like, oh, you know, I should have stretched yesterday, so I'll just do like a morning stretch. There have been times where I'm not able to keep track of my social media / online digital usage. Other times it's pretty good. I have expressed that I've started kind of like a curfew for myself. So after a certain point of time in the evening, usually I give myself like an hour heads up, like, oh, hey, if you're doing anything in an hour, please, like I tell myself like, oh, don't get on any electronic device, just put that away, you know, find something more analog to do, which is like reading a book, planning with my planner and journal, writing notes, actually studying. I have told you guys that I wanted to figure out a way to integrate some more streams into my schedule, and I'm still working on it. I haven't forgotten. It's just been very hectic, both time-wise and just in my own headspace, in my own body, and I'm doing my best to take care of me first and foremost, while being able to present to others in a functional way, right? Like, but I guess that just means that my bandwidth is pretty full, so I will go at a pace that works for me, and knowing that, I am still very, very grateful, very, very happy that there are a lot of folks who are so kind and supportive and continue to show up to my streams and be, you know, be able to interact with me and share this time and space together. So thank you. In terms of productivity streams, maybe, most likely, those are really good. I was thinking back on it, I was like, man, those are excellent. What I want to try to shift towards is, it was actually mentioned last week, as much as we are focusing on our physical health, we should also do something that's good for our noggins, yeah, for our brain. And believe it or not, learning a language is good for our brains. Learning new skills, learning something new, whether it's like, oh, you know, I'm learning about something about myself, like, oh, hey, you know, on the topic of mental health and self-awareness, you can look into treatments for, you know, your symptoms. So for example, this is just an example, obviously, you know, you're depressed, you know, you're prone to depression or moments where, you know, the sadness hits, you know, I've been there, you've been there, we've been there. It's a human experience. We know how that gets. So instead of just like letting that punch you in the face for the 100th time, okay, cool. Maybe there can be some remedy, some structure you can put into place when you're in the healthy state of mind, when you're like in the functional state of mind, to anticipate, you know, and to kind of catch yourself before you get to that point. It's called, it's not preventative, there's actually a word for it. And I have like a little packet for it. I really wanted to share it with the community. I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. Like, do I do it as a video? Do I talk about it on stream? Do I just like make it as a post? I'm just like so overwhelmed. Anyways, but that will come out eventually. I will share it. And, you know, and if you do some research on your own and you find something that works, then great. Actually, it's actually right next to me under a pile of books. Give me a second. It is literally called okay, so it's a goal setting worksheet. So it's like a few pages, and basically what you do is you follow some steps, right? Check in with yourself, and it's kind of like a little package, a little packet where you fill in every time you feel like, oh, you're teetering, you can kind of catch yourself. Again, it relies on a lot of self-awareness. So, and I mean, even if you don't have self-awareness, maybe one day you just slowly decline into your depressive episode, or whatever episode you have based on your condition, and you find yourself like, yo, I'm not happy in this state of mind, I'm not happy here, well, what can I do, right? So these little worksheets, activities are designed to kind of help you navigate that, either on your own or with the assistance of, you know, either a professional or someone who's trained, who can kind of help you navigate and not trigger and make your symptoms worse, obviously. So eventually I will share that information, but at least you've heard of it. I have touched on it now here. It has been documented. I talked about it, and you are also allowed to do your own research. But anyways, as we continue to yap, let me go ahead and segue into the warm-up cycling. And so this is kind of weird. I'm gonna actually make it 10 minutes. Last week it was 15 because I couldn't fix the clock, but this week it's gonna be 10 minutes. Yeah. So, slowly but surely, again, just to reiterate, my goal has always been to share resources in one way or another. And I will slowly do that. I'm just very slow. Let me bake, let me cook slowly, so I don't burn. But anyways, we can continue this discussion in just a moment. I'm going to yeet this one, and we have Gym Buddy Po. We call this one Gym Buddy Po. Why is Gym Buddy Po Gym Buddy Po? Well, Gym Buddy Po is the ultimate gym buddy that will help you with your exercise. I don't know anymore. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's see. We are going to do cardio. That is what we're going to do. So this is maybe I did jumping jacks. Let me just do. Maybe we can just run. There we go. Let's do some cardio. Why not? Why not? Ah! Okay, we're doing cardio. Cardio is what we're doing right now. We are going to... If I could just get Gym Buddy Po. Okay, this one. This one? This one. Yes, we are running. Yes, okay. Alright, so, I am gonna get on my stationary bike as per usual, and for 10 minutes we are going to cycle. So I have started the clock, and we are going to do cardio of some kind, whether it's jumping jacks, whether it's I don't know, if you have some kind of cardio available to you. What's another good cardio? I mean, jumping jacks is great. Squats, but that's not really cardio. That's more like full body. Yeah, I just really think it's like stationary bike or like a treadmill of some kind. Yeah, no, it's totally cool, and it's also like what you have available, so I totally get it. I really do. And then, like, you know, like when you do jumping jacks, you're probably going to be stomping on the floor, and I am very self-conscious of like disturbing other people, part of my people-pleasing tendencies. I think what can be a remedy is like communicate with the people in your vicinity and say, hey, would you be okay if I did some exercise and like something like jumping jacks, which maybe for like 5-10 minutes or 10-15 minutes you might hear some stomping from my room. Would that bother you from this period to this period? And learning to develop that sort of like communication skill is also really important. And maybe if someone says, oh hey, you know, like you're an adult now and you're like living with roommates or guests, and they say, oh hey, no, that's totally fine, you know, like we'll just be aware of it, and okay, cool, so we'll know what's going on. Or like some people will be like, oh, you know, I would prefer if you didn't, because I'll be doing something during that time. It's cool, you know, it's just like it's a skill, and it's part of like growing up, and also being able to, what's the word? I'm still learning it as well, so the words are not coming naturally because I have to think about it and think about it from a perspective that's my own. But it's kind of like how to get your needs met and advocate for your own needs and like your own self, like how to say, like valuing yourself to be able to speak up for yourself in a way that's like polite and like not demanding or entitled, right? So that's where the whole communicating, and like I think it comes with growing up with yourself and learning these social skills. But so yeah, something to think about. Yeah, self-awareness for sure, because like you need to know like, okay, well, so you need to be aware of yourself and what you need. Like, okay, I would like to exercise. That is my need. That is my want. But now take it a step further of awareness is like, okay, by doing this, who am I affecting? Do I live with roommates? Do I live with neighbors or elderly people who would be disturbed by my like foot stomping, you know, like with well, my neighbors downstairs or upstairs or next door, like be very disturbed and be very upset with me. And you know, in this day and age, it's really weird because like we don't talk to our neighbors. Some people don't even know their neighbors. Like I don't really know my neighbors. Whereas like growing up when I was younger, it was a little different. So like a lot has changed. And it's also like the difference between being in like a rural place versus a more metropolitan place. But so there's that involved, and there's also just other factors. But like when I was growing up, I knew who my neighbors were. Like I knew my entire block actually. Like there was like that lady that lived across the street, the lady next door, like, you know, her sister, her daughter was like a teenager. You know, there's, you know, she did that, she had a husband, and like down the street there, that was so and so, you know. And like you just kind of like, I don't know, see, that's different because that's also in a more it's not in the city, so there's that consideration to have as well. Live Type says, never knew any of the neighbors starting from, okay, yeah, no. So it also depends like where you're at and like what is the like social etiquette. But like I've also been reading a lot of posts, especially in our current time, where it doesn't hurt. I think it's called I was like reading and learning about like mutual aid and what that looks like in a community. And you know, there was some, how do you say, there was like some examples where like, oh, you know, a long time ago people would like have spare sugar or some butter, right? And they're like neighbors, and then they were trying to make food and they didn't have like a stick of butter or something, and so they would just, you know, I guess they felt safe enough to go out into their neighborhood, ask their neighbor like, hey, I'm trying to make some cookies and I don't have some butter or whatever, sugar. But so here's another thing I read recently, which is mind-blowing. Sometimes, this is crazy, I know this is like a big leap, but like bear with me. So I totally get it. It's like scary. It's scary. But like here, brace yourself. This is scary, but sometimes some bad things can happen when you're too nice. Cause like, sorry, I was reading stuff about like, okay, I think the genre is considered true crime, but it was like this incident of like trafficking and like things to look for. I'm like, oh my god, I'm like so surprised. How am I still alive? But anyway, so basically like you have to be also really careful. And I think that fear and that kind of like narrative really makes it very hard, makes it very challenging, very difficult to be able to like trust, to build and establish trust within your, like even just within your space, like within your, like your neighborhood slash apartment complex, whatever, right? But in different countries it's a little different, right? I've heard stories where like, you know, so people are in the same building, they are met with like really friendly neighbors, and it's very like very helpful and everyone knows each other and it's fine. Other times it's like, yeah, it's shady, can't trust nobody, don't open your door for no one, right? Like I totally get it. So this is really difficult, and it's a challenge, and sometimes I don't even know what to say, because if I say like, oh yeah, you know, like open your door and give someone a cup of sugar for their cookies, yeah, and then what happens? Yeah, stranger danger was a big thing. And yeah, watching true crime, I was like, dang, like, oh my god, you know, so, I don't know. Anyways, you know how people are like fascinated with like horror and like gore? I'm not really, but I have an interest in like true crime, but I'm not obsessed with it. Like I'm not like, oh my god, this is like my thing, this is my hobby, I love true crime. No, I just happened across some true crime anecdotes, stories, and I was like, huh. And it was just kind of interesting. It was like a few, you know, like three, 4 stories. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's sometimes I don't even know how to talk about it, because it's really it's not like it's not a fact, it's not a definite, it's like more like it's very situational, very contextual, very nuanced. It's not like, oh, you can go anywhere or anything is like gonna be. So it is what it is. Let me just catch up with your guys' chat. Okay, suspicious of strangers by nature. Yeah. Yeah, and in this current social climate, yikes. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but again, situational. If you live in a like complex, like a apartment complex or something, and you kind of have an idea of who you're living with, cool. If you have like a roommate, just, you know, communicate, be an adult, just say like, hey, I'm gonna do this, is this gonna bother you around this time to this time? Okay, cool. If you're living with family, ask for permission, like, hey, you know, like I want to do some exercise during the evening, is that going to disturb you, will you be going to sleep, you know, just kind of like coordinate. That's just like basic communication skills that I think is a skill as well as like a mindset. So I guess what I'm trying to at the very minimal, what I would like to like I guess convey is that if you don't want to trust your neighbor, you don't know where your safety boundaries are, you're still figuring that out, or you know your boundaries and safety, cool. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's still a skill to be able to advocate for your needs and your what you need to survive and be healthy and navigate this wild jungle of a world. So I guess that's my bottom line. So I don't know, figuring that out is a constant refinement process. It's a constant maintenance, constant reflection of your needs, knowing your limitations, knowing your environment, and all of that. So Life Type says knowing neighbors is more of a high trust thing. Yeah, city is definitely. There's the trust is like not as easy, and it's like it's really hard to like say definitely like, oh yeah, you know, because that's just not the case. That's just not the case. Oh, hello Panda, thank you so much for tuning in and just dropping by. Ganbatte, hi, arigato, thank you. So we have completed a 10-minute warm-up. Good job. Woo! I feel very warmed up. Actually, my hands are not as cold. I came into this stream with like really cold hands, but the stretching and the 10-minute warm-up, the cycling was really good. I feel like warmed up, so that's good. I was really cold earlier, even with the heater slightly on. Like it's like been on for a little bit, but yay, warmth. Okay, so I'm gonna put away the stationary bike. We have named my stationary bike Lanos because that is the brand, in case anyone wants to buy a cheap but durable stationary bike. So I don't think I'm doxing anything. I'm not really. But anyways, that's the brand. So we call that Lanos. What are we doing now? Okay, so we should get ready for some push-ups. We will continue kind of like thinking about kind of how we navigate our spaces physically and mentally, right? And how we can prepare to kind of start to think about ways we can advocate for ourselves without entitlement, but as more of a form of like self-advocacy and kind of taking ownership of our feelings and our needs, which is actually going to lead up to another topic that I really wanted to talk about, but I've been like delaying it because of all kinds of things. Hopefully I can share that with the community. It's I think it's called emotional accountability. I don't think that's the second word. I'm gonna look it up really quick. It's gonna bother me if I don't look it up, so give me a second. Go off, boss, while boss is over here trying to like rack the last brain cells to try to remember what the freaking method is called. And actually, I'll just say it here so that way if anyone's like curious, they can do the research themselves, right? And come to their own conclusion. But for now, let me just, It's gonna bother me, so give me like a minute. I know I posted about it. Emotional ownership method. Yeah, it's the emotional ownership method, which I think is a skill. Actually, I'm actually trying to apply it. It's very difficult. Now that I know about it, I cannot unknow it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not owning my own emotions, and I'm projecting it onto someone else. So I should just, that's really hard. You have to like stop yourself and like think about it and be like, okay, what am I feeling? What's causing this feeling externally, and like then formulating a sentence to do that while you're upset. That's very challenging. That's very difficult. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, so I don't blame you guys, but it is a skill. So yeah, it's called the emotional ownership method. I wanted to talk about it on Saturday because, well, not because, but it just so happens to coincide with International Day of Education. So yay. Yeah, so you're really close, Cappy. You stop, right? Like when you're really upset, like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to like throw a pitchfork in the air and like start a mob, and like I all that. And you think about, okay, like what am I feeling? I'm feeling angry, upset, I'm feeling betrayed, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling this, and then you proceed mindfully, meaning I am going to disengage, I'm gonna look at something else, I'm gonna take a breath, I'm gonna walk around the block, I'm gonna jog around the block, I'm gonna go to the gym, get my gear and start like doing some kickboxing, taking it out on the punching bag. You know, I'm gonna go for a swim in the swimming pool. I'm gonna journal about my frustration, right? Because I guess, you know, that's what people can do. Yeah, you know, just count backwards from 10. I don't know, like just, you know, like put the electronics down. Look at yourself in the mirror. Sometimes I've done that. I'll be like so upset and I'm just like, excuse me, go to the bathroom, pour some, like, get some cold water, splash it on my face, wash my hands, and I look at myself in the face and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look so upset right now. And I'm just like, you know, like, gotta bring it back into yourself. Yeah. Or just like, yeah, like process it in a different way rather than letting it get really destructive or start projecting is basically the best way. So it's like, I'm mad, and therefore you justify your anger by like breaking things. So that's not like that logic. No. That's not, but yeah. So something to think about, something to just like consider researching, looking into. Again, it's just something I recently came across. Like I just found it. I'm like, oh wow, this is such an interesting little method / technique. And like I'm still doing research on it. I'm still trying to like practice to see how to be accountable for my own emotions, right? Yeah, so it's a skill. They don't teach it. Definitely they don't teach it. This is not taught in schools, if at all, even in the home family dynamic. But if you're lucky, if you happen to, you know, figure this out, find out about it, and you earnestly want to learn how to be accountable for your emotions and your actions, you know, there's a lot of these little I don't know what's it called, treatment, like techniques, methods, perspectives, activities where you can like journal and like write and reflect and like record it and try to make some change in your brain, in your behavior. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like it's not taught like across the board. Like for example, yes, it is taught. I guess there's a misunderstanding there. I'm not saying it's not taught, like, no, I'm saying like you don't learn about this unless you just so happen to like find a class that teaches it, like whether, and that's sometimes by chance, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if anyone's had the grace or the, you know, privilege of learning about taxes and like, I don't know, all these things in high school, maybe you did take an accounting class and maybe they did go over it. Cool, then your school taught that. But like from my understanding, that's not across the board. Like, you know, like it's not across the board. But anyways, so we have done the cycling. I have yapped. I am no longer, I think I'm pretty recovered from the warm-up. I love paying 40% taxes. Oh, okay. If you don't mind, if y'all don't mind, have you considered filing for tax exempt? I'm still looking into this. I'm not even sure how this all works. But there was like some proposed idea and it was like spreading like wildfire, where like you can somehow file for tax exempt. Okay, you know, I don't want to get canceled. I don't want people coming for me. So let me I just said it, so I'm not gonna say it again. You know what? Okay. Anyways, so I'm gonna get my mat. So we're gonna go. You heard it. You know. You do your thing. You do your research. You be educated. You do your thing. I said what I did. Some things. Okay, but I'm good. Okay, so I'm gonna get. Yeah, don't joke about that. Please don't joke about that. Joking or not, please don't joke about that. I don't want to be associated with weird shit, so don't do that. You do your research. Just do your freaking research. I'm assuming you guys are all adults. If not, I'm gonna treat you like one, and if you can't handle it, then you're probably in the wrong space. Like, maturity is not just defined by age, like the number of years you're alive. There's like a mental component, and like, let's be real, there are like, I have worked with children with disabilities, and like their mental age is different from like you know, what they're supposed to be, and you know, so like you work with them and okay, cool, but like I still want to treat people like fairly, but I don't want to be like I don't want to feel like a babysitter. But like at the same time, I want to be able to like share and discuss about things in a way that is beneficial and constructive, as opposed to like destructive, like, oh, I talk about something and it just sends everyone into like a crazy like frenzy and everyone just loses their mind. Like, no, that's you could probably find that somewhere else on the internet. I'm very sure there's an audience for it, but you can go lose your mind over there. I'm just gonna keep my sanity over here and like not do my best not to get in trouble. I mean, but at the same time, like just existing could get me in trouble. That's the state of the world we're in. Just simply existing in a certain way will piss somebody off. So it is what it is. You just gotta roll with it. So yeah, like for example, you know, a person with some kind of disability or a different orientation is just gonna like, I don't know. So it is what it is, right? We can just do the best we can given what we can do to ensure our own safety. And like if someone takes things out of context because of their own perspective, I mean, I guess like I'm not responsible. Like I can't really like, I don't really want to convince anyone. Like if you truly believe that it's like you picked it up, right? I mean, if anything, I'll just say like, oh, well, there's this way of thinking, you know, consider this, and then it's either yes or no. And then the next best thing I can do is just keep myself as safe as possible from whatever is out there that disagrees with me to the point that my existence threatens them. Like, okay. Anyways, that's been on my mind. It's a stressor. It's kind of scary, not gonna lie. It is very, very scary. Another thing during, you know, just, it's a little crippling, I'll be honest. It's actually very disabling when the fear kind of like gets to you. And that's why it's like, you know, that's why I have this space, try to create my space of safety and like awareness and knowledge. And if it finds you, cool. If it provides you some sanctuary of like I don't want to say like-mindedness. I think you guys know I don't really like hive mind either. I don't like that. I like people to think independently, but at the same time, like, it's fine if we all agree, right? That doesn't make us a think tank. It just means we have similar values and share some similar principles and have common ground. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I think it's weird when you become like a hive. That I don't know why. I've always been very, very cautious of that. Anyways, where are we? We're gonna do some push-ups. So we're gonna have push-ups done by Jim Buddy Poe. Eek. I'm just rambling. Don't know why we're rambling, but we're rambling. So we're doing push-ups. Dehumanizing? Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it is what it is. Thanks for dropping by. It is what it is. So we are going to do our first set of push-ups. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. So if you're out there, scholars and friends alike, and you want to do some push-ups, this is your call to do the push-ups. Yeah. Do however many you feel comfortable. Go at your own pace. Yes, it is. It is time to do push-ups. It is, really, truly. So I'm gonna do my set, and I'm gonna do my best to kind of do the proper form that I want, which may mean I slow down, but it is what it is. I've already expressed that my upper body strength is not the best, but it's okay. We're working on gains. Yeah, we're working on gains. So do whatever you want to do for your push-ups: diamond, military, normal, one-handed if you want to practice doing like 5, build up to that strength. But yes, okay, so without further ado, we're gonna do push-ups. So let's do this. Okay, no problem. Okay, got this. It's a mental thing for me as well. Here we go. No, let's go. Here we go. Here's 1. All right, I guess I'm going to try to do the military bend in my elbow. That was 1. All right, that's 2. That's 3. All right, ooh, that is 4. All right, that's 4. That's 5. All right, we're building those biceps and triceps. That's 5. Let's go 1 more. All right, that's 6. Okay, that's 7. Okay, that one was 8. That one was rough for me. All right, I got 2 more. That's 8. Okay, that's 9. 1 more for me here. Okay, all right, I survived. Not dead. No, but that was, whew, I can feel some muscles are being worked for sure. We have the muscles. Yo, so just to kind of reflect, I was doing the military. Thank you, arigato, good job to you too, high five. Wow. Good job. I will say I'm still on the assisted, meaning my shins. I'm not doing like a full-on push-up, but I still got a lot of what's the word? Engagement with the muscle groups in my upper arms. Like, definitely I felt it in the triceps, definitely feeling it in my biceps, because I was able to do a lot better military style. That's great. Love to hear it. That is excellent. We like progress. Yeah, no, I remember like the first few days I couldn't even do the assisted military, like that was a struggle. I could just do like 1 before I had to go back to just doing like normal. So the fact that I could do 10 assisted is showing progress. It's just not like in your face, look, I'm doing it, but it's like it's very gradual. So there is definitely progress. So that's good. I'm gonna check my whatchamacallit, heart rate really quick. About a minute ago it was 138, so I'm just seeing what it is now. But yeah, definitely it's this is a workout, beginner friendly, so might be too easy for some, but I'm very comfortable where I'm at, and I will only get better, and I will only be able to build upon this workout and get better. So yeah, also the reason why I can't do like I could fix my mat, but it's like hitting up against something, so that's why I'm just gonna do assisted today until I fix that. So I'll just continue doing assisted just so I can get my workout done. So that was 10 push-ups. Good job. Okay. All right, shake it off, loosey goosey, and then when you're ready, you can continue your next set of however many. And if it feels too easy, if you feel like, okay, 10 push-ups, this is too easy, do 15, do 20. Once you can do like a solid 35 or even like 50 no sweat, cool, yeah, you know, like no problem, then you know you can move on. Diamond push-ups work a little bit of a different muscle group. So diamond push-ups, you form a diamond, like a little triangle diamond with your hand. I don't know if it'll well, like this. Sorry, hold on. Trying to show you guys. Yeah, like this. And so your hands, your fingertips are touching, your thumbs are touching, and it's like right underneath your chest. So it's like right, like where your sternum is, that's where your hands are placed. And then you do your push-up that way, and then you bend, yeah, like that. And you're gonna feel it in a different place. It's still a push-up, it's just engaging different muscle groups. You can also try that once you feel like, oh, you know, normal push-ups, super easy. Military, I got this in the bag. Try diamond. Oh, another one I just remembered. When you put your, but proper form, eh? It's we did this back in like middle school or high school. Basically, instead of like shoulder width apart, your hands are, whatchamacallit, not shoulder width apart, but they are like wider. I don't know how, not shoulder width apart, wider. Yeah, and then that's harder too, and that's engaging another, like a different part of your upper body, like I guess it's like more where your shoulders are, near your pecs, I guess, is the pectoral muscles. There's like what, pectoral major, and then there's like the pectoral minor group. So yeah, if it gets too easy, trust, there's plenty of other options available. So just let me know. If you feel it's too easy, I'll be like, no problem, diamond push-ups. Have you perfected the military form? You know, all these things. Okay, all right. One Punch Man exercise. Okay, years ago, I learned about the One Punch Man like exercise routine. I was very tempted. I was very, very, very tempted to actually try that. That was when I was going to the gym. Let me just look this up really quick before I do my next set. One Punch Man exercise routine. What was it? Isn't it like, yeah, 100. It was like, everything's like 100. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. I love squats. Like full body workouts, really good. I could do 100 sit-ups, pretty okay. It's 100 push-ups. I gotta work up. I'm almost up. I'll be there. I'm not sure yet. The run. In terms of a 6.2 mile run, I'd probably do that on the stationary bike. I'd probably like spin for about 6.2 miles. Yeah, that's not impossible. That's not impossible. This intense workout aims to build strength, endurance, and resilience, but it's important to start gradually. Yes. Listen to your body to avoid overtraining and, of course, obviously injuries. Like, if anything, I prefer, this is just like my own, I don't know, like method or value. I do prefer injury prevention. I do prefer like not risking it, but like at the same time, I know people who are like more they're less risk adverse, and so they're more willing to do more intense things. That's fine for them. They can take the consequences of a broken bone or like an injured whatever, you know. But I'm not that person, sorry. All right, well, you can get your ankle wrapped from a sprain and endure that kind of pain if you're into that kind of what's it called, like sadism. Oh my god, that's something else. I'm good, I'll pass, sorry. Might not be that intense. But anyways, okay, so we're on to the next set of push-ups. I can still feel a little bit of like muscle, like it's not all, I can still feel my muscles like trying to recover itself from the last push-up set. I'm a weak one, but I will be strong. You mark my words. All right, let's see. We're gonna continue our next set. Here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready to do the next set? Oh, gotta mentally prepare. Don't like these, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll be fine. I should really get a post-workout, what is it? Protein shake after to help. The protein shake really helps me, actually. I feel like I do recover a little bit faster, it feels like. I don't know if it's also just because the workout is, again, beginner friendly, and I do technically have like a whole week for my body to like, my muscles to regenerate and heal. So there's that as well. But it's also like just like a nice treat knowing that I am, did I say post-workout workout? Wait, what? All right, anyways, I'm gonna do my next set. All right, enough of this shenanigans. Here we go. So here we go. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm noticing I'm not doing the military. The elbows are being pointed out, so that's fine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, 9, all right, 10. All right, so that was 10. All right, good job, we did 10. So I am going to go ahead and mark that. We did 10 push-ups. That one was not military, so I was able to do it a little bit better. That one only really focused on the biceps, whereas with the military push-ups, there's a lot more I don't know, emphasis, usage of the triceps. The back of my arm is being more engaged. It's like, well, no, duh, you're doing military. So, but again, if you're like worried or panicked, like, oh my god, why is everything sore? Why are my arms? It's normal. Calm down. It's good. You're good. You'll be fine. Just rest, recover, stay hydrated, stretch throughout the week. Yeah. So I'm gonna get a quick sip of water because water break is good. Da, 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 da. Okay, so 10 more push-ups, closer to ruling the world. That is one way to look at it. That is, in fact, one way to look at it. Yeah. See, that's a good way to think about it. Like, yeah, you're basically working out when you're moving, lifting things. So, oh, there we go. That's wild, you guys. If we're not, I guess oh, so weird. I had like the background music playing. Oh my gosh. Oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, the music suddenly appearing. Oh my gosh, I was like hearing it, but I had to double check. Like, can you guys hear it? It's like pretty chill. Let me run it back. I like this song. It's just like a 3-minute track. Honestly, for push-ups, I don't think I want chill music. I think I need something a little bit more like upbeat and like pushing me to like, you know, pushing me through the pain of my muscles working and engaging, but it's okay. Just keep it chill, you know? Oh, there's a lot of like little to-do things. I just haven't gotten to it. Part of it is like very much a mental thing, as I have talked about in the past with you guys, and I'm sure, for example, Atlee, I'm sure you can relate to. I'm sure maybe other people can relate to. So yeah. Oh right, yeah, for sure. I get it. I actually remember a time when I was like that as well, Ellie. This was when I was much younger though. Oh, man, it's kind of nice to think back on like, man, when did I lose this like you say, like silliness, you know? I think the last, yeah, I think the last 6 to 7, like 8 years, that bracket really brought out a lot of disillusionment. And it's interesting because I do my best to keep it real because that's, you know, I prefer it that way, but at the same time there's like a part of me that really wants to like protect / shield people from kind of like the disillusionment process. But at the end of the day, that's not fair either for a person who should know, right? It's like I guess, yeah, it's really hard to talk about like, you know, being sheltered from like the horrors of the world, right? And like, but you just have to like be really careful, because if you learn, and I guess the word is like radicalize. If it radicalizes you too extremely and it tips you over the edge and you're not protected or sheltered or like pulled back from that edge, it's very dangerous, right? You go to very extreme measures to try to satisfy your own sense of like safety and all of that, right? So it's very much a balancing act. I don't know if anyone understands what I'm saying or if it's just a ramble, but yeah, I think it's harder. I appreciate your I guess was enthusiasm, inclination to want to keep things on a more simple, less stressful time, and I think I do my best to try to hold space for that. But there's just certain things where it's like when you get to a certain point in your life, you have to balance being responsible, having, you know, these responsibilities kind of like thrown at you, right? Like you didn't sign up for it, while still being able to keep yourself afloat mentally, emotionally, and whatever. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, we can't escape it. We have one more set. We have one more set. One more. We have one more. We can't. It's not going anywhere unless we ourselves do something about it. So let's do this. Last push up. 10. Give it your all. Do your best. Here we go. You're going to do some push-ups. So we're gonna Okay, here we go. We are going to do push-ups and get those happy hormones / happy neurotransmitters firing in our brain. Let's go. At your own pace. Do your best. Keep in mind the form. You know, form is more important than getting it done. So really, really feel your muscles engaging. Push up, push out. Remember to breathe. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. That's 1. All right, that's 2. I am back to doing the military, so my triceps are being engaged. There's 3. That's 4. And if you have a hard time pushing up, just breathe out. Kind of exhale that air. 5. You can push up and then breathe out as you're coming up to kind of give yourself that extra little push. That's 5. 6. 7. Keep going, we got this. Okay, that was 8. Slowing down, but it's okay. It's all right. Definitely keeping to the form. 9. 1 more. Got this. Good form, good form. Let's do good form. All right, 10. Oh, good job. My triceps are screaming at me right now. Triceps are like, ah! Okay, good job. Good job, everyone. If you did some push-ups. Yeah, no, that's good. Really felt those? Good. That you want to feel those. Good job. High five. High five, high five. Yeah, no, I was feeling my triceps there. I was like, oh, okay. So what I did was first set, I did the military, then I went back to normal. For my last set, I did military, right? Try to give my muscle groups a little bit of a break for just a second. Yeah, there you go. Ah! Good job, good job. All right, so the next bit we'll do are the sit-ups. So let's knock them out. Let's get these underway. So, you know, kind of shake it off, shake your arms. You know, you're okay, you're good. You're gonna probably feel your muscles getting a little stronger over time. Nothing new, nothing to be scared about. Little soreness, but you're getting the gains. Remember to continue eating nutritious food. I am continuing to take like supplements, like vitamin supplements, every now and again. I really do like the citron tea. It's like a honey with like some kind of like tangerine or orange peel, and it's just made in like a big jar. I think it's from South Korea, and it's really good. I like to pour that over some hot water, and like it's good. It feels really nourishing. So for others, you know, if you want to treat yourself to like a nice honey, ginger, lemon tea, or just honey ginger tea, or even turmeric, some kind of turmeric drink. Turmeric helps with inflammation. Let's see what else. Yeah. Yeah, that knowing that is good, right? Like you understand this is kind of how you operate, and you can work with it. You can kind of set yourself up for success by knowing, you know, what you can eat, but at the same time you don't want to be so picky that you can't eat certain things. Otherwise you're going to probably lose out on certain nutrition. So if there's something you don't like, for example, you don't like spinach, but you want to integrate the vitamins and minerals of what spinach has, you can find creative ways to make something really good. So I recently tried this. I had some spinach, I had some coconut water, and I put it in a blender, and then the recipe called for 1 banana, and it had a really good ripe banana, so it really sweetened the drink. Like, I love coconut water. Very, I just like coconut water. And then banana and like just a bunch of spinach. Like, it had to have been like a whole full cup and a half. Like, I just put a lot of spinach in. I had a little blender, blended that up. It was so good. It was just so good. I think I used the same cup that had the honey citron. So there was a little bit of like honey citron like still like in my drink. So it was like extra kind of like sweet from that. And it was just so good. So I got like a bunch of like spinach, right? And I didn't really taste the spinach. It was mostly just, I really just mostly tasted like the coconut water, which was really refreshing. And then I had like the banana for sweetness. And yeah, I just, there's like 1 cup of veggies right there, like a cup and a half of spinach in my diet. So I was really happy about that. Yeah, so, and then, I just had spinach throughout the week. Yeah, so there's always creative ways, looking up recipes, finding ways to integrate vegetables that are good for you, but you don't know how to incorporate. When I don't feel like eating spinach as a salad, you can toss it into a skillet with some eggs and make like a spinach egg scramble. You can throw in some onions if you like, some garlic if you like garlic, and maybe tomatoes again, so you have like kind of like a veggie omelet. Yeah, I think it's just allowing yourself to do that. Chives and eggs, yummy. Yeah, that sounds good too. Yeah, I was the other day, like I think it was like a week ago actually, and more recently, I was craving what's it, like the green onion / chive pancake. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I was craving that. Like, I think I'm craving it right now, honestly. I don't know why. It's like you get your carbs and it's just like so tasty. I particularly like the green onion pancake with chives. It's like more chewy than crispy, but yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, I totally get that. Crazy enough, I struggle with that as well. Don't tell Panda. Everyone, don't tell Panda. Panda's so sweet. He's like, so I say, oh, Po, what'd you eat? And I'm like, yeah, I totally ate something. Nah, like, I've always had a bit of an appetite problem, but it's crazy because when I eat a lot. But like when I don't eat, it's like I'm fasting, right? I'm fasting. Ooh, yes. Scrambled eggs with tomato. That is such a classic. I could probably eat that for the rest of my life though. Nah, I'm just kidding. So something that helped me is a food log. Yeah, something that helped me is called a food log. Let me just food log. Can't type. So basically a food log was very, very helpful because I had an issue where I wasn't consuming enough calories. Yeah, that was my problem. Oh no. Okay. Interesting. What is it for me? Because like I can't say my weird appetite like thing. It could be. It hasn't been confirmed. I haven't been diagnosed with it, but it's like at some point the doctor like was worried I had some kind of thyroid issue. Like so they would check if I had either hyper or hypo. I think they were more concerned if I had hyperthyroidism. Because I told them like, oh yeah, sometimes my appetite is really weird, and they ruled it out. So I do not, no, like I do not have a thyroid issue. But Yeah, so I don't know what the food thing is. I have a suspicion, but like, again, it's just a suspicion. Yeah. And then like in high school they talked about like, oh, you know, eating disorders. What they were trying to educate people on, like eating disorders, healthy body image, self-esteem, you know, these general topics, like wellness topics that they go over for, you know, teenagers and preteens, kind of like figuring out like their health. And so one topic that came up was eating disorders, and I'm like, oh, but my case is not as extreme for an eating disorder, and I don't think it sounds like in your case, Atlee, it's a necessarily an eating disorder. It's like something else. But again, you know, that takes more of a, I don't want to self-diagnose. That's another thing. I'm just like kind of like speculating. So as long as we agree that we're just speculating and not trying to self-diagnose, then we're good. But yeah, I don't think my case is very extreme where it can be considered a disorder, like an eating disorder. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, sometimes things affect each other and there's a lot of overlap and things can seem really similar, but yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, for sure. The not wanting to do anything. I have been feeling that as well lately with, so yeah, it's very overwhelming. Even for someone who's not diagnosed with, well, yeah, I don't think I'm diagnosed with ADHD. I think it's something else. Yeah, self-diagnosis is very complex. I think what you can say is like, oh, I have symptoms of like these things, you know, right? Yeah, if you're worried, check with a specialist or a doctor, right? Like, please consult a reliable, trustworthy, like, I was gonna say social worker, no, healthcare provider or therapist slash psychiatrist slash whatever, what have you. But there's a lot of metrics that they look for, obviously, right? And then what's crazy is like people will try to like hide their symptoms. It gets into this weird mind game that I just don't like to play. I just don't like to play it, but that is like a topic for not us, but I have seen it. It's a little frustrating. And actually it's something that like prevents people from getting the help they need, which is really sad, right? Like, for example, myself, and maybe as you can see, we're very proactive in our care and our treatment and our self-advocacy of our needs and trying to get our needs met through a system and healthcare, blah 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 blah. But it's weird is like there's other people on the spectrum of like mental health who just like they deny it. They have not come to terms with their condition. They do not want to acknowledge. They will hide it. They will lie about it. They're like, nope, nothing's wrong with me. And that is very, very detrimental to themselves, but more so to the people around them. Because like if someone knows you are X, Y, and Z, they'll be like, oh, okay, there's a way to treat it. So let's get you treatment to help you, you know, and the people around you, right? Like if you knew someone has like anger management issues or has like a tendency to get violent, right? Do you want to just have them? There's a comedian, she's so funny. She's like, I'm just raw dogging it. Do you just want them to just be out there? Never mind. I don't know where I'm going with this. Or would you rather know like, oh, this person, you know, needs more extra care, needs extra support, needs the resources to manage their symptoms and outbursts. Like I would feel better knowing that someone who has some sort of condition is getting and receiving good quality care and help that is going to help them be able to feel like they can manage their symptoms and also keep everyone else safe. I don't know. Is that too radical of me to say? Yeah. It's a complicated. There's stigmas, right? There's social, there's a lot of social pressures to be perceived or be. And actually, this is where self-awareness and self-acceptance is so key, because if you don't have that, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you can't even have a conversation about it if you don't even acknowledge and accept. And there's a grieving period, because like you don't associate, like, your identity is involved, right? Like, you think yourself one way, but then actually you have to come to terms that you are no longer the person you thought you were, and there's a grieving process with that. So I myself am going through such as well, and the music stopped because I don't know why. I have yet to be able to fix this. Sad life. Sad, sad life. All right, I guess this is why we can't have nice things. Where is it? Bum, 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 bum. Anyways, onward to our sit-ups. Okay, we have stalled. I have stalled long enough. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. Let me get some sit-ups going. Dun, dun, dun. Gonna just make sure Gym Buddy Poe is ready. You are always you, though. Yeah. No, I appreciate that that reminder, right? Like, yeah, it is a really good reminder, right? To remember that, like, you are still like someone of value. You are still someone worthy of care, dignity, right? Regardless of, you know, the things that happen to you and all that kind of stuff. No, for sure. Like, I'm still me, meaning like I'm not, I haven't like done a 360 and now I'm like some serial killer. Or like I'm not someone who's like out to like, you know, harm people. I mean, if anything, like, yeah, I've made my mistakes where, like, you know, social interactions, ruptures and repairs. Maybe the repair isn't like, a social repair isn't completed, you know, and there's like falling outs, and, you know, we have our ups and downs in life, and, you know, maybe there's a lot of reflecting on in terms of that, but, you know, yeah, so, yeah, good for you for like finding a place to express it, for being aware, like, hey, you know, like, I'm coming to terms with this part of my life / myself, and it's not easy, and I'm not like I have not completely resolved it in my mind, but I am like, yes, like doing the best I can with what I know, and I'm actively trying to resolve it within myself, etc. Right? So, one of my goals is to eventually, and this is not like a VTuber goal per se, it's more like a personal goal. It is to actually seek and be able to afford like treatment, like therapy with a therapist to kind of help me navigate some of my own thinking, right? Like, I'm doing a lot of reflecting, I'm doing a lot of like you know, coming to terms, doing some of the internal work, so that, you know, I can present it and be aware, you know, and then, you know, maybe through therapy I can finally kind of like close the book on that chapter, really come to terms with it, understand it, not let those actions or events in life dictate my life, but make it so that I understand why I am the way I am moving forward, and like really be mindful and intentional about, like, okay, yeah, bad things have happened. Does that mean I need to just go around and be a menace and hurt people and just like and justify my pain by hurting others? No. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, like I'll probably mess up. I might, you know, lash out at you because I was emotionally triggered, right? Because we all do that. But like, that's a rupture in social interaction. But, you know, is there room for repair? Like, how bad is it? More on that actually a little bit a little bit after, maybe after this set of sit-ups. Let's just kind of sit with that for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna try, because I very much advocate for it, but it's difficult because it is expensive. Not gonna lie, like, let's be completely transparent. Like, and not only that, finding someone to work with that's not going to like upset you, but like is professional, and like you have to be really careful too, right? Like, you want to be vulnerable, but not so vulnerable that if anything goes south, you know, you're devastated. But yeah, no, I know I do very much want to seek professional help in actually a lot of areas that I would like to work on. So in the time being, what I'm doing is like educating myself as much as possible, looking through resources, like how to navigate, you know, these types of feelings that I'm experiencing. And so, yeah, you know, it's really hard. It's very, very difficult. I think I'm just very, I think I've been given certain situations in my life that have allowed me to navigate it a little bit better on my own, but that's not to say I'm like better off, right? How do I say this? I gotta think about this a little bit more. Let me just do some sit-ups. All right, are we ready? Let's just do some sit-ups first. And as I think about how to move this conversation in such a way that's constructive. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, taking time. I mean, that's the whole kind of situation with the streams once a week, kind of figuring things out. There's a lot of uncertainty, so just doing the best we can. So everyone's understanding, everyone's consideration and acknowledgement of that is very, very helpful. But let us go ahead and do some sit-ups. Are we ready? Are we ready? We will put a pin on that topic for now, regarding, you know, taking care of our mind, seeking professional resources in due time, trying to navigate this very, very complex system. Money's always an issue. You know, we're not gonna let it stress us to the point of insanity. Okay, like we'll get through. We will survive one way or another. There's plenty of free options, right? Like free resources out there. And if you can't find it, keep looking. And if you are able to use any experience in life, you can share it, which is kind of my intention here. Okay, so sit-ups. Let's do it. Let's do the sit-ups. We are going to do 20 sit-ups, and we will begin. Here we go. We're going up. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, coming up 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, one more. Whew. 20, okay. Oi, I do feel my abs. Hello, I have abs. All right, so let's see. Where were we? We were talking about kind of, so we don't want to self-diagnose, looking for resources when resources are not, yeah, same. Yeah, no, that's good. You're doing something there. You're building muscle. Yeah, and so I did want a way to eventually talk about some of these things. I think I'm just not ready yet, but I have mentioned it. Haha, I have mentioned it today here. Sneaking in the topic of looking into resources for my own recovery of a lot of situations and realizations. But for now, I'm still okay. Like, I'm still okay, but like I know that I should eventually get professional help to really like understand it in a way that it doesn't dictate me. Because, for example, I'm just being like self-aware, and maybe this can help you kind of identify it within yourself. But I know lately I'm still very like moody. Like I'm in my daily life, for example, I'll wake up and I'm just like, oh, I feel terrible. I don't feel like I used to, really excited and happy and okay, and it makes sense, right? Because what's happened in the past, what's certain other unrelated things like current events, let's just call current events, are also stressors, and that stuff gets heavy. And I have to remind myself to like put it down, like stop carrying it, like on my shoulders, metaphorically, like carrying the weight of whatever it is, the sadness, the resentment, the anger, the fatigue, the anxiety. I have to like not carry that in my body all the time. In my mind, I can't carry that all the time. So, and this goes for anyone out there as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like you kind of have to navigate it, come to terms with it, figure out how you are going to process it. It's like grief, Grief, it goes through like a cycle and it repeats itself, right? There's like the whole acceptance, the denial, there's like a whole phase for it. But like once you come to terms with grief and you really like understand it, it's like not as strong, and it doesn't like bother or dictate your decision and life as much. There's a better way of phrasing it. I'm completely butchering it. There's actually a better example. There's like a chart. There's like this little animation of it where it's like, what we do is like with our grief, with any emotion, with any trauma, with any, fill in the blank, it's not that it goes away, right? Like the trauma of your past, of what happened or whatever, doesn't just go away. What happens through therapy, through self-awareness, through treatment plans that help you maintain your sense of like grounding, is that it just it takes the edge off of it. So right now I'm still okay, but there is a bit of an edge that I'm experiencing, and so I'm hoping one of my goals, my personal life goals that I share with you guys, and hopefully it inspires you if you find yourself in some similar situation, would like to seek some sort of professional guidance. And I have to be very careful. I cannot put all my eggs in the professional, in a professional, like, meaning I'll put like 7 of my eggs and trust like the professional process of therapy and learning about, what's going on. But I'll keep some of my own eggs for my own research, right? And like my own self-learning, and not just rely 1000% on like a professional just because they're a professional. Like, yes, they have learned about it, they know it theoretically, maybe even through experience and practice, but ultimately there will always be information that only I will ever know, and reflections that only I or yourself can ever come to. Yeah, so always keep that in mind when seeking any kind of professional treatment, that you also are a person who can advocate for your needs, and you can trust yourself and your body and your mind to the best of your ability, given whatever situation and context you're in. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, there's a lot there. And my goal is not to be like unstable. I think I'm trying to be more like an example, if anything, like, oh, this is a healthy way of navigating, you know, a situation, a you know, life experience, etc., in a way that you can still kind of honor yourself, be transparent, and all of that. I know, right? Like, oh my god, like Poette's just so like, what is this? No, so I think having this kind of like awareness, and I want to call it a sensibility, but I don't want to make it sound arrogant either. Because, like, you know how they say, oh, it's just common sense to seek help, etc., or whatever, but it's maybe it's not that common, but it is a bit of a sensibility. It's a skill. It's a mindset. It's a lot. Yeah, so I don't know what to call like this. I think my favorite not verb, but my favorite word is a vibe. It's a vibe. We are vibing. But anyways, okay, so let me go ahead and update we did 20 sit-ups. Oh, let's go. We are onward to the second set of sit-ups. Oh yeah. Yeah. I think, keep in mind, these labels are good for helping you identify, like, you know, things, but at the end of the day, it's just describing something. Like, I guess I just caution not to get too attached to the label. Actually, a really good therapist that I worked with before they moved to a different place, they said the same thing to me as well. And it actually started making a lot more sense when I took the peer support training, is that, yes, it's good to have these parameters to help you have the vocabulary to talk about your experience. Like, yes, this is very good. Just be careful not to make it like a whole personality or a whole like mindset or like a whole identity. Like I talked about it, like, you are not your diagnosis. You have these clusters and symptoms, but it's not you fundamentally. It's just your experience. Yeah. But some people like to have that as their basis. And then it gets into this weird territory of like, well, how much is it you enabling bad behavior because of your symptoms and diagnosis and labels, and like how much of you are taking accountability for the labels you have received? I know that this is like a big conversation, and it goes beyond medical as well. So for example, like if a person has like cancer, like does that mean they can just like do anything unhinged just because they're a cancer patient? Like, no. Like, I mean, yeah, it's like it doesn't justify, it just explains why maybe they might behave a certain way. Like, they're more emotional, they're more sensitive, they're more vulnerable, they're blah 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 blah, right? They're more agitated because, you know, whatever. But it, you know, like, yeah. Yeah, it gets into this weird, I don't know if the word is like dichotomy, but yeah. So like on one hand you're this, and then on the other hand you're that. So yeah, for me, if you care, if it even matters, my kind of thing is like, the less labels the better. Having some kind of like warning label is helpful, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be known as like the person who's gonna like freak out because something's not done a certain way, or you know, so that's something that I feel like I would want to try to change within myself. Like what can I do so that I'm not constantly being in a headspace that is causing me to think a certain way and perceive things a certain way. And that in part kind of goes with self-esteem. Part of it is self-esteem. Yeah. Anyways, second set of sit-ups. Are we ready? Are we ready to? Yeah. Give major impressions on selves. Yeah. I think it's very important. Yeah, to be aware of that. Okay, let's do it. All right, cool. Very good. I've acknowledged that very, very thoughtful comment, and we are going to continue to think about that as we do our next set of setups. So let us get into our setups. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, so let us begin. Here we go. All right, so for anyone out there tuning in, we are doing sit-ups. If you wish to join, you are more than welcome to. We are going to do sit-ups at our own pace. I will be counting mine out loud. Remember to breathe, remember to engage your core, remember to focus on form over just sloppy, you know, whatever, I did it just to do it. Just focus on your form, because you really want to engage your core muscles. Yes, they will feel sore. Yes, this is normal. You will survive. You'll be okay. Breathe and allow yourself to get stronger. And okay, so that's my pep talk. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. So we're coming up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Halfway there. Good job. So, I'm gonna take a quick breather for just a minute, just a second, and we're gonna continue. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, almost there, 18, 19, okay, 20, good job. 20. All right, that was 20. I think around 17 or 18, I was like, okay. Okay. All right. Got some abs. Okay, so let me see if I can I'm gonna try to play some other music. Yeah, no, it was you just gotta like breathe through it, and like if you need to stop, you can totally stop, like no problem, just catch your breath, right? But man, that was a workout. Abdominal today, yeah. Oh boy, that's good though. I mean, like, you know, remember to take deep breaths, get some oxygen going, you know, take a sip of water, right? Shake it out, shake it out, shake it off. Pretty good. So yeah, so that was what, our second set of sit-ups. So we've done 40 so far. We're gonna kind of catch our breath from that, and then do another set, And then after that, we're gonna be doing some planks. Boy, oh boy. We're gonna do 40 seconds of planks. What's gonna happen is the timer is gonna have 45 seconds. That means I have 5 seconds to get into place, and then holding the plank for 40 seconds. And we're gonna be doing that for 3 sets, 3 times, basically. And then we're gonna do a 10-minute cooldown cycling, and then we're just gonna kind of stretch it out at the end. So we're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. No problem. We're getting there. While having a very thoughtful conversation. I'd like to think this is a thoughtful conversation regarding, you know, how we can find grace with ourselves, find resources, self-advocate for our well-being, and things like that. Again, I can't cover all the bases, right? Like, everyone has a very unique situation, and while I am trying to think like, oh, what are some other situations and contexts that this could apply to, I am also very limited in just what I know and my experience, and some of it has some overlap with other people's experiences, right? And being able to develop self-awareness and understanding of that is helpful, right? Like, I'm speaking in such a way where I'm keeping in the context that I know in my own experience, but then also considering like, oh, well, how could this be not just specific to my situation, and making it more general, right? So regardless of what you have, you can still advocate for your needs. You can still do independent research, like, you know, finding articles from doctors who have a social media presence. I actually do prefer that over anything like regurgitated from like an AI source. At first, AI was really helpful. I am gonna get into this just really briefly, but now it's doing this weird thing where like the original robot machine, like the AI, the artificial intelligence that was like learning, so it gets it from the source. Now what's happening is like these other newer models are learning from that model, not from the source. And so someone made this really interesting example where it's like, if you take a photo of nature and then you like take a photo of that photo and take a photo of that photo, and each generation of every photo is being taken, eventually the original source, the photo is going to be pixelated, or it's going to look different, right? You get this like, you're no longer taking a photo of the actual source, it's like a photo of the source. So that's kind of like what is happening with some of these like machines, these AI machines, is like they're no longer learning from like the source. They're learning from something that learned from the source. And so it becomes like this like weird telephone game. And it's like, so I guess when I talk about like, oh, educate yourself, learn, you know, apply it to your own self-experience, like overlay it and then like see where's the overlay, what works, what doesn't, and like kind of use your own human experience that a robot can never really fully understand because it doesn't experience it the same way you do. And then like that's kind of like my preference in learning from like you know, someone who says like, you know, they're a licensed professional and they practice or something, right? And then like looking up on some medical board like, oh, this is, you know, they are licensed to practice and not some scammer. Yeah. There's an end, so to get smarter. Yeah, that's a really good, yeah, that's the word. It kind of like cannibalizes itself, the knowledge. Yeah. That's a really good word. Yeah, so there was another thing that I came across quite recently. It's just kind of like reinforcing this idea of like critical thinking and how so much of it is being lost when you, what's the word? when you, there's a word, I'm so sorry, I'm like, it's like when you, hold on, I'm gonna try to find the word. Outsource, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to, my brain was loading for so long. Okay, so critical thinking is really difficult to develop when you outsource thinking to something. So yeah, you might like pick it up really fast, you get your answer like ASAP, like really fast, right? But like maybe you retain it, maybe you don't, because you're outsourcing your own thinking to something else. So the reason why this is coming up for me is because I'm trying to learn a new language on my own, and if I didn't commit to learning something new and I outsourced my learning to something that could just give me the answer really quickly, and yes, it functions, it does its job, it gives me the answer, but this activity, this interaction of me outsourcing the learning process to something that just gives me a quick answer that technically well, most likely is correct, right? Like I get my answer, but I'm outsourcing this learning process, so I don't necessarily always retain that skill, that language. So I guess it's the difference between learning a language versus just using a translator for the rest of your life and never really learning the language in all of its structural and cultural nuances. Maybe over time, it is very possible that just by using the translator, you do like learn bits and pieces here and there, but it's just not as focused and integrated into your brain as a skill if you were to just memorize, practice, learn it yourself. But there's that like convenience, and maybe there's like a hybrid you can do, depending if that's, you know, depending if it's for like travel or leisure or professional or work. But it's just kind of hard to imagine like a person who needs to speak English for a job interview constantly relying on a translator. But then like if their skill in the job that they're being hired for, like it doesn't matter, then maybe the company doesn't, you know. So there's all these like weird little, you can find every little excuse. But yeah, I'm really interested in the new neural pathways, right? You're creating new networks in your brain, which is generally pretty good. So I did talk about this with you guys like a while ago, how I wanted to kind of integrate you know, like learning streams, like learning a language like Japanese, having more study sessions like productivity streams. So that was kind of my thinking along that line. So and it is very difficult to just sit down, carve out space, which is really funny because I think it's called double bodying? Body doubling? Sorry. I think it's double body ADHD. Sorry. Yeah. Body doubling. Thank you. My eyes are going crisscross. Body doubling. I personally like this because it motivates me personally. I like it. It kind of gamifies studying for me. But I think when I was in college, I studied a lot on my own. So whenever there was like any opportunity to like possibly study in a group, I was always kind of like, oh yay, you know, maybe I can learn something and, you know, like get to talk about what I know, because I never get to talk about things, and that's part of my problem. So that was always very exciting. Yeah, so I've always enjoyed body doubling and studying, and like, you know, kind of like taking little breaks, checking in with folks, be like, hey, so what have you learned? You know, how much did you read? Or, you know, did you have any questions? I didn't really get this part. I don't know, it just makes it more like interactive and fun. So that much I do very much enjoy. It's just a matter of finding a subject, and maybe if there's not a specific subject, maybe it can be something like, oh, we all do our own thing, and then we just do a little check-in every like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, right? Just to keep things like, and then like make sure everyone's like focused and like, hey, are you, you know, wandering off? Let's reel it back in, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, that's great. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I think I might want to do like Poette activity / study sessions where I'll host it and I'll like greet everyone and make sure everyone has a task that they want to work on, and we check in and there's like a little bit of accountability, but mostly I think there should be some solid time, like a good 20-25 minutes where we just don't talk and we really just focus. It's the Pomodoro technique. I think it's really cute, and I was actually looking at it yesterday and the day before and seeing how to fit it into the schedule and have guidelines for that. So yeah. Slowly making progress. But yeah. Okay, so that is in the pipeline. That is something. And yeah, it's helpful for me. It could be helpful for others. So yeah, let us go ahead and complete our next set of sit-ups. We are going to do the last 20. Yes. I think we have one more setup set to do of 20. So lots of good things to look forward to. Nice and, you know, kind of just easy does it. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, let's go ahead and do our next setup as we ponder and think about all the things. Before I do that, let me just... Oh, ready to go. Good job. Let's go. Okay, at your own pace. Ready when you are. Okay. Remember to breathe. Engage your stomach. Got this. Here we go. Count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, remember to breathe, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. I noticed that I was like holding my breath for like a good dozen of those sit-ups, and once I started breathing, my muscles are like, oh. And then it got a little harder because I wasn't just relying on momentum or holding my breath. That actually was really interesting to observe. I've always been told that when you do exercises and sets like this, like you should breathe in between each little bit, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. I think my form was still okay. It just slowed down. I slowed down because I could actually actively feel my muscles, because I was actually like so when you contract your muscles, right, because you're holding your breath, so your muscle is constantly contracted, but once you breathe, your stomach kind of like opens up, right, like your belly expands, and then like it disrupts the contraction, and so then when you do the sit up again and your muscles are contracting, it's like, oh, you're getting that actual contraction of the muscle, not just holding it. And I realized that I was like, oh yeah, I was just holding my muscle to do like a good dozen of my sit-ups, and once I like released the muscle, did it again, it's that I think I read somewhere it's that muscle contraction that actually helps build the muscle. So for example, it's a bit of a cheat, but have you heard of that device that you put on your stomach, and then what it does is like it like does this thing where it's like, it looks like it's vibrating or massaging your abdomen, but what it's doing is it's like forcing your muscles to contract and release and contract and release by sending like a pulse. It's sending like a pulse through your muscles to do that motion activity, and then that artificially creates your abs, and it makes your abs look more toned. I saw that, I was like, oh. And then they explained what's going on, the technology and everything. I'm like, oh. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah, that's a good that's a really good observation about like slowing down so that you get that. So basically what you're doing is like when you breathe in between your like muscle, like your like when you go down on your back and then you breathe and then you come back up, and then your muscles are contracted to bring your core is bringing your torso up. That muscle contraction is what is like helping to make those micro tears and like develop the muscle. I don't know. I want to do more, like, that's been years, and that was my understanding years ago. I don't know if that's like outdated. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments or like after the spot, or if they're listening and they know the answer. But that was my understanding many years ago. So that's just kind of what I still know. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Trying to think if I missed something, but that is like my current understanding and where I am at in terms of knowledge. And so there might be something nuanced there where it's like, oh, it's not the muscle contraction that's making the muscles, or it's the muscle, or it might be like, oh, there's not muscle tears happening when you're contracting. I don't know. So there's a lot of like science. So I should definitely look into that just to be like very, very specific. But here's another thing. I'm also not a nerd. I feel, so I'm not saying nerd as a bad thing. I'm saying nerd as in like you're a guru. You're knowledgeable about a certain topic. So I'm not a very nerdy guru type person. And so a lot of times my interest kind of just sits at kind of there until otherwise. Yeah. There was a topic that came up recently, and I was kind of worried. I thought back on it, and I was worried like, oh, did I come up as rude? Because my understanding, and like I don't want to offend anybody, but my current understanding, and it could be outdated, is that otaku, an anime otaku, is considered like an anime nerd / anime guru, or someone who's very invested and very knowledgeable about some area within Japanese culture, like anime, manga, video games, idol culture, or something like that. So I had to really think and reflect on that. And I think this was a topic that came up in a previous stream. Darn it, I wish Panda was here because they brought up a good point about the term weeb, right? Like being a person that's not Japanese but is very invested and very much follows anime culture and manga and etc. So basically I should say it while I still have it in my mind. It's like an identity thing. So as I'm learning, I'm actually self-learning Japanese and taking supplementary classes to help my learning, and one of the topics that came up was, like, because we're practicing introduction, and like one of the topics that came up is like, what is it? Otaku wa, it's like, are you an otaku? Like, is that your identity? And so then some people are like, oh yeah, watashi wa otaku desu. I am an otaku. And then I thought about it. I was like, yeah, watashi wa. Oh, no, I was like, yeah, otaku janai desu. Like, I don't identify as otaku. But I was very surprised how many young people in that class were identifying as otaku, and it made me feel like, oh no, did I offend them? Because I did it. Because when the teacher asked, sensei asked, oh, what is otaku? And then no one answered, and I was like, nerd? Like someone knowledgeable about like a topic. So, and then I ended up reading a lot more articles to kind of be better informed about like, oh, actually otaku just means someone who's very knowledgeable, like a guru. Really, it just sounded very synonymous to the word guru. And actually there's like, it's not just anime otaku. It can be like a train otaku, someone who's very knowledgeable about trains, or camera otaku, a person who's very, very knowledgeable about like cameras, lenses, models, all these like little camera things, and there's military otaku, where people who are very interested in like military like weaponry or history or all of that is, and then actually the origin of otaku is actually, it's how they refer to themselves, or like, I think it means like you. So it's like, oh, something 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 otaku. So it's like, oh, do you like, so how did I understand it? Where's that article? I don't, do I have it? Let me just read it so I can be more accurate. I thought it was very, very, very interesting, because I was like, I did not know that. Let me see if I have it. I just don't know if this is the correct article. But it was talking about the history of how that word became how it became used in language. Yeah. And then there's also kind of the negative connotation and how it was associated negatively. So I found the article. It's just, I'm just trying to find the paragraph where it talks about, so the term itself comes from otaku, which is a second person expression meaning you, which anime fans at the time would be using to address each other. So they would say something like, oh, have you seen this anime, otaku? Like, it's like kind of like saying Mr., I guess, or Mrs. Like, oh, Mr., have you seen this? Ah, otaku, have you seen this before? So it was just a way of saying, it's a second person expression that means you. Yeah, and so I think because it was used so much within like the anime community in Japanese speaking, it just kind of got taken and people ran with it as like a label. Yeah, so I thought that was a very interesting this article, Japan Niche, the article is by Ayana Sasaki from Yokohama, and it talks about it. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. And really, so in this next paragraph it says, the meaning of otaku in modern Japan extends more broadly. So like I said, train otaku, people knowledgeable about trains and railways. Camera otaku, people knowledgeable about cameras and photography. Idol otaku, people who are passionately supporting a specific idol or group. Figure otaku, people who really enjoy collecting figures. Military otaku, people knowledgeable about military technology and history. Yeah. So in like the broader sense, actually, and this is where I kind of came to the conclusion that technically, and the article doesn't say this, but this is my conclusion. Otaku just means guru. Like, you are an anime guru, you are a train guru, you are a camera guru, you like these things and you know a lot about it. So to go back on a topic a few streams ago, the reason why I don't identify as otaku or necessarily even a weeb is because I don't it's not that I don't like the label, it's like I don't resonate with it because I feel like I don't do the things that the people who are calling themselves weebs or otaku do. For example, I don't religiously follow anime, even though I like anime. So one of the sentences I came up with in the Japanese like class to try to like form sentences was "Watashi wa anime ga suki desu. Demo otaku janai desu." I think that means I like anime, but I'm not otaku. Yeah, so so I'm so sorry. See, I don't even understand your Metal Gear reference. That's how unconnected to like video games, anime, and and I like anime. You know, I like the anime I like, but I don't like hunt for season 2. I don't wait, or like I don't read up on the voice actors. I don't read up on the company that produced it and all of that kind of stuff, which I feel like people who are very invested, they do actually, and that's cool. It's just because I feel like I don't do that, I don't really fit that definition of weeb slash otaku. So it's like, oh, so does it matter if like you like anime and you're not in Japanese, that like automatically makes you a weeb? So then I'm like, oh, by that definition, yes. But if you're going by a more stricter definition, like, oh, to be a weeb, you have to like be involved in a fandom, be involved in a community, actively go to conventions, actively cosplay and or play video games. I'm like, oh, well, out of all of those checkboxes, I probably only fit 1 or 2. I can check off 1 or 2. Yeah. And names himself after that. Oh, really? Oh no, it's 6 hours? Yeah, you won't be catching me doing that, unfortunately. I don't think, I'm not sure I would want to do that. Oh, never accurate. You never watched much anime, you just like the games with anime art styles. Right. And so part of me, I kind of want to respect that. It's not like I don't... Like, if you identify as weeb or otaku, that's fine. That's cool. Like, that is your identity. That is part of your, like, pride in your hobbies. Your hobbies. And what you like as a person, and you are proud. Like saying, oh, I love Star Wars. I am a Star Wars fan. That's, you know... But if I just watch Star Wars once, like one little bit, and I don't even know who like the actors or the voice actors are, and I don't know what the company who produced it or made it, does that make me like a Star Wars fan? Like, I like Star Wars, like, oh, maybe I just like to watch it, but I don't know everything about the lore. I don't know everything about like the characters. Maybe I know a little bit because I watched it or pay attention, but like kind of that's it. And then there's like this other term you can call people like that, or like, oh, they're not. Yeah, casual. Sorry, I am a casual. Yeah. And then I thought, oh, well, I marathon anime when I have time. So like maybe in a single year, I'll have like an opportunity where I can marathon a bunch of anime. But does that make me a weeb? Like, I don't know who the voice actor is. Actually, I only got into voice actors. I only started becoming aware of like, oh, wait, there's people behind these characters. I literally just took the animation or the shows as face value. I just consumed it and be like, okay, great story, cool character designs, interesting, you know, like plot or whatever, but I just took it like that. Like, you know, I never looked into like the voices behind it, the writers, and I think as I got a little bit older, like nowadays, I kind of look into it if I'm just curious, but I don't memorize it. I don't memorize who's the voice actor for so-and-so. I don't know the idol group members religiously or something, right? Yeah, so that was something I thought was kind of interesting. Well, anyways, time to get back to exercise. I'm gonna go ahead and set a timer for the, what is it? This is gonna be the planks. Yeah, so. Yeah, and then you can kind of like recognize certain voices if you get used to it. Like certain singers, I mean, for example, like I love K-pop. I like K-pop a lot, but honestly, I'll be very honest with you. I don't think I've ever been. No, I went to one K-pop like concert only because I won tickets. That's it. I was like a broke college student, dude. I couldn't afford like stadium tickets, or I just it wasn't like something that I really invested in, I guess. Yeah, okay, yeah, so Persona, I know that's a video game, right? And I guess they have like a concert for their music or performance. So yeah, like other than that, I think I only went to one concert that was like a Japanese band. They were called Flow, and they did the music for Naruto. So I went to see them. That was like just like 2 years ago though. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, I don't. That's why I don't really think I'm like die-hard otaku weeb. But I don't know. I really don't know. It's I just don't really identify with that, I guess. Yeah, I did. It was really nice. It was really cool, actually. So that was like, again, just recently, like a few years ago. Up until then, I never really went to any kind of, I don't really go to concerts. I think it's too loud. I think it's too overcrowded, and it's like, it's also very dirty. Hold on, let me change the music really quick. I feel like the concerts can be very, very dirty. Like people litter or whatever. Nori, Boshi. Oh, they're a great band. Yeah, I thought they were really, really awesome. So charismatic, so much energy, so hyped because I like, oh, I know these songs because these are from Naruto. Did I know the lyrics? Absolutely not. But I knew the beat. I knew like the rhythm and I was like, yeah. So, okay. King says they went to a Hiroyuki Sawano. Oh. Okay. Xenoblade. Okay, see, I don't even know that. So that's why I feel very embarrassed to say like, I don't think I can say I'm a otaku or a weeb because I don't know the composers, and it's very embarrassing for me because I really do like anime. I have read manga. I don't own any manga anymore. I used to only have like 2 or 3 volumes. One was like Fruits Basket, and the other one was like Tokyo Mew Mew. And that was like when I was a kid. But like I never bought any manga because I didn't have like room for it. So yeah, yeah, so that's kind of my current argument. Have you seen Attack on Titan? I only watched the first episode, and I didn't even finish the first episode. Same with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I watched like maybe 3 episodes, and then once they introduced Dio as like a kid or whatever, being an absolute bully of like a stepbrother, I was like, oh hell no, I can't watch this. No, stop, I don't want to watch this. I'm about to lose my brain. But yeah. Oh right, yeah, no, okay, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. There's some pretty amazing, talented musicians, composers for some of these like, you know, productions. I can respect it from a production standpoint, hands down. Like you won't see me like saying bad things about like, you know, that kind of stuff usually, but you know. Okay. Yeah, I've been meaning to like eventually watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think it seems really interesting. I do like the art style. I do like the character designs, it's just still a little, it's still very extreme for my taste, I guess you could say. It reminds me of the anime Bobobo, and I watched that as a kid, where it's like he has like the nostril hair and he uses it to like attack and people like pow 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 like that. It's so funny. But yeah, no, Ado, these are some names I recognize. There's another one like Lisa, capital L, lowercase I, S-A, like Lisa. There's some other really popular singers that came out in recent years, like the singer who did what was it, Mashal? The singer for the opening for Mashal. Yeah, I never really had a space to talk about it either. And then when I did in high school, it was very, very awkward, I suppose. Like, I'm talking, yeah. I'm talking like the first time I ever got the chance to talk about anime, like outside of like outside in the public, it was like with a bunch of, you know, girls. We're all high school girls, right? And they liked anime, and I was like, oh hey, you know, I never talked about this. And what would happen is like they would reenact and role play in front of you, like the characters, and I'm like, oh, is this how you talk about anime? So I would just sit there like a bumpkin, like, yeah, I remember that scene from Death Note where Light dramatically like swishes his pen on his notebook. Yeah, and like these girls would like reenact it, and I'm just like, oh, should I be doing this? And I'm like, but I don't really want to. So so then I don't know, and then, you know, nothing wrong with that. We're all just, you know, super young teenage, you know, people just having fun, and so there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't know like what is normal. And we're just like young, you know, kids, and we're just, you know, I remember when I was like 12, you know, and you're playing like you're a detective, you know, and you're pretending your hands are like the, you know, your secret agent, and you're using your imagination, and pillows become shields, right? And the table becomes like a I don't know, like your car or something, right? And so like you're pretending it's like play, right? But I guess I just wasn't expecting that in as a preteen teenager, I guess. I don't know. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's like the guys at the concerts going wildly with glow sticks. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's actually it's actually really inspiring. I believe it or not, I do have respect for like people who can do the glow stick dancing, because I'm like, yo, you like memorize the choreograph, you are in character, you're like in costume, like the cosplay. I'm like, I have respect for that. Can I do that personally? No. But that's a skill issue. That's my own skill issue. That's not anything of like their fault. That's my own skill issue, and I'm okay with that, right? I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I went to something like that in like a cafe, and they did do those light performances, and I was very, very, very like, whoa, like so impressed, like, wow, right? Yeah, they're very, but like, again, if you ask me to put on a costume and do that, I think I would struggle. I think I think I could do theater, so it's not too far from like theater performance, but at the same time it's just different. I'm just finally making the correlation that like these performances are also theatrical, like a theater group, right? So if I can take that experience, like, oh, it's like theater kids, then it's not so far away. But even in theater, I wasn't very super hardcore extrovert. I just liked theater and musicals and, you know, performing as an ensemble. Whereas if you're performing like at a maid cafe or like some kind of like anime concert, it's kind of like sometimes there's an ensemble, otherwise the eyes are all on you kind of thing. So you really have to practice. I guess if like you have a background in dance, then this is not too unfamiliar, because you know you're a performer, you dance, like you do ballet, you do hip-hop dancing, so it's not unusual. It's within that realm of performance art. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things for sure. So anyways, I am stalling. I am once again stalling. Hello, I am Poette Everstall, here to stall, and I need to do my planks. Okay, so planks, guys. We gotta, scholars, folks. We gotta do our planks. Let me get the planks going. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see if I can. All right. Yeah. We gotta do it. We gotta do the planking. We can't stall no more. It is upon us. It is time. Here we go. So we are going to do a plank. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the timer for 45 seconds, but you can get into position, right? When you're ready to like hold your plank, you're just gonna lift your legs up, right? Hold that position, but you know, before then you're just, you know, you haven't lifted up your legs, your knees up yet. So I'm gonna have 5 seconds to get into position, and then once that is complete, we will hold the plank for, you know, 40 seconds. So yeah, so just a recap reminder, if you're gonna do the plank with us, you're always welcome to. Make sure your shoulders, your arms are shoulder width apart. You can either make it so that your forearm is like holding you up, or you can do it almost like you're holding a push-up, either one. I usually do the form where my forearm is holding up my torso, and you want your tailbone to be tucked down, not not like sagging, but not up like a pyramid either. You want to breathe. You remember to breathe and not hold your breath. Engage your core. Relax your shoulders. Look straight ahead. Don't like droop your head or neck or anything like that. All right, so those are the notes, and we will get started. Are we ready? Yeah? Okay, here we go. No more stalling. It is time to do planks. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, got 5 seconds to get ready. Okay, 2 seconds. Here we go. And we're holding. We are holding for 30 seconds. All right. Okay, so remember to breathe. Relax your neck. Look forward. Tailbone down, tucked. Engaging the core. About 10 seconds, almost there. Remember to breathe. Okay, so, all right, that was 40 seconds. Okay, not bad, not bad. All right, so, not bad, right? It was a little messy on my end, but I still managed to get it done. So our first set of planks has been completed. Good job, good job. Yeah, it's almost getting easier. I think early on I was kind of shaking in the past streams, but I think it's gotten a little bit better. I think it's really important to remember to breathe and to engage, like your focus should be on your core, making sure you're not compensating, because that's very easy to do. If you just kind of let your mind wander, your body's going to compensate in weird ways, and then you don't get the most out of the plank. But yeah, no, for me, I definitely feel it in my core. I also feel it in my arms because it's like holding me up. So let's see. I do feel my heart rate, which is a good sign that I am in fact getting some kind of workout from this. Let's see, timer. Let me just reset the timer. Heart rate was about 142, still about 140. Yeah, so holding a plank takes a lot of effort. I am trying to kind of, again, drill it into everyone that when you're holding any kind of form that you are very cognizant, aware of, paying attention to your form. I think yoga instructors do that as well. You know, they tell you to like, oh, remember to like lean back, lean forward, you know, keep your shoulders relaxed, right? Focus on your core, breathe, these kind of little reminders to help spot you, kind of make it so that you can adjust as needed, little reminders to help you develop, you know, the most out of this. Good for you, yeah. And then you can try beating the world record. Some guy was holding the plank for what, 8 hours and 30 some minutes? Yeah, plank time! 4-minute planks, really? What? Who does 4-minute planks? What? Oh man, maybe at some point I can probably push it to 45 and 50 seconds, but I'm kind of comfortable with the 40 seconds. I'm not gonna lie, the 40 seconds is getting a little easy for me. I don't know. It depends on the day. It truly depends on the day. Like last week, I was really gassed. I was really tired. I didn't have the calories from, like, you know, I should have like loaded up on calories, like not calories but carbs, specifically carbs and calories. So I had to kind of take it easy, and like last week the planks were hard. Some of these workouts were a bit of a challenge, but today I think, granted, I do feel hungry right now, meaning after this I'm gonna need like to eat because I'm hungry, and my body's like, I'm hungry, I need nutrients, so I'm gonna, you know, eat some food and drink some water. I'm going to get some post workout, you know, meaning after the workout I'm going to make a protein shake to help, you know, it's like a little treat for me, right? And then, you know, just shower, relax, stretch if I need, because again, actually, I'll be honest, the tension that I was talking about earlier today in the stream in my shoulder is kind of gone away. I think the warm-up and some of these exercises are helping me to kind of like relax, and I'm not holding that tension in my shoulder as much. That's been an ongoing issue. It started sometime in like August last year, which is weird because I never really had that kind of issue. So to experience it is a very interesting. I can like understand people a little bit more when they say, oh, I have an ache here, I have an ache over there, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. They're holding a lot of tension. It's not always intentional. So what you have to do is like remind yourself, like actively tell yourself like to relax, right? Like relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, right? Like stretch your spine, and then breathe so that oxygen can flow into the places in your body that might be deprived of oxygen and causing certain cramps. You know, gentle movements like stretching, again, very, very helpful. Yeah, I don't know, earlier I felt it, but my jaw was like really tight, but I think just as I'm like warming up and yapping, it slowly went away. So I don't know what that was about, but that just went away naturally. But I was like aware of it. I didn't necessarily need to point it out because I'm like, if it's persistent for like more than 30 minutes, then I'm gonna be like really intentional about it, right? Like, oh, hey, yo, my jaw has been like this for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes now. I should probably like massage it, like do some jaw exercises. Yeah. Yeah, so these are like little like mental notes, bodily awareness, like awareness of yourself, knowing how to not bring shame or negative emotions. Just be like, oh, hey, I notice that I'm clenching my jaw. I notice I'm tense in my like neck. I should just, you know, stretch my neck from side to side. You know, no judgment, just identify it, you know, acknowledge it, try to remedy it, and kind of, you know, it doesn't need to be associated with anything negative. But anyways, that's my little spiel and pep talk. Are we ready for the next set of planks? We are going to continue with another set of planks where it'll be 40 seconds. And once again, the timer is set to 45 because I need like 5 seconds to like press the button, get into the plank, and then, you know, hold the plank. And I have to like quickly set my watch so I don't have to like crank my neck to look at the computer screen. I could just look at my wrist really quick. I suppose, I guess, if we have to, Poe, if we must. All right, good attitude. All right, so for folks who are joining us for the plank, go ahead and get set. You can get ready. You can hold it for 40 seconds or 45, up to you. Go ahead. Here we go again. Yeah, we're doing this again. So you're gonna be in kind of like a whatever arm, if you want to like hold it as if it's a push-up with your hands on the mat or the ground, or you can use your forearms to kind of give you support, in which case your hands are either making a fist or flat on the ground. That's fine too. But yeah, so we will get started. And I'm gonna count down 3, 2, 1, press the start button, 5 seconds for me to get into my plank position. Again, you can hold it, do what you want. I believe in you, Andley. Let's go. All your goals. We're on it. Okay, so get into position. Here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and press the start button. I got 5 seconds. I am in position. Go ahead and get started. Here we go. If you started already, great. Perfect. Hold that position. Relax your shoulders. Keep your arms and elbows shoulder width apart. Keep your tailbone tucked and down. Don't let it sag. Don't let it stick up. Focus it on your core. Good job. Remember to breathe. You're doing good. We got about almost 10 seconds. Here we are, 10 seconds. Keep breathing. Keep that tailbone steady. Oh boy. Here we go. All right, we're done. Okay, we're good. No more. Get out of there. Get out of there. We are good. Good job, guys. Good job, scholars. Good job, good job. Yo, that was a plank. That was our second set. Good job, guys. Did really good. So, whew. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, my heartbeat is going, meaning I'm exerting some kind of effort to hold and maintain the form. So definitely, yeah, my BPM is 142, meaning, yeah, my body is like, my muscles are engaged, heart is like pumping blood, like, okay, we gotta like fuel our muscle and body. It's these little things that we don't really notice or take the time out of our day to like think about, like, wow, my organs, my body, me, I am, you know, I'm capable. Like, I'm doing so much work and I don't even realize it just to survive. It's beautiful that my body is taking care of me and I'm taking care of myself and my body by, you know, exercising, eating good food, doing the best I can to regulate my mood and emotion, finding ways to feel accomplished, feel valuable within myself, within the people I choose to surround myself with. So pat on the back, everyone. Pat on the back. Good job. Good for you. Yeah, whenever I check my heartbeat and I'm like, oh, wow, I am working out. I have this little moment in my brain where I'm like, oh, I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for my for my ability to be able to be here. And I want to continue taking care of myself and doing the best I can. So just a little moment of gratitude. I don't know if that was like oxytocin that just like hit me in the face. I feel like there was probably this little molecule or neurotransmitter of like oxytocin that just took over for a split second. But yeah, I just had this like moment. I was like, oh wow, I'm so grateful. I'm alive. Anyways, okay, so we're almost there. We're almost done with the workout. We did yap a lot, so that has contributed to most of the time. Yeah. Definitely feeling kind of like a little workout high, because I get to talk with you guys, I get to interact with you guys, we get to chat while working out, doing something good for ourselves. Midweek, Wednesday, right? We're almost there, almost to the weekend. Hang in there, you're doing great. I'm really looking forward to possibly integrating more streams where we study / learn Japanese together. If that is something you like, I will kind of, take note of that. But yeah, that's another thing. I don't know. I feel like I'm still on the fence whether I want to just do like kind of like what Antley mentioned, like a productivity stream, or make the stream specifically about like learning Japanese, which is something I'm trying to, self-learn and figure out by myself. So still not sure how to integrate that. Yeah, I could make a poll and like have a survey and people can let me know what they prefer, and then I could just go off of that, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm not sure. Anyways, we're almost done. If you're ready, we can do the last plank. I know, right? We're almost done. I can't believe it. It was just 30-40 minutes ago. We were just getting started. What do you mean 30-40 minutes ago, Poe? It was like 2 hours ago. All right. Yeah, it's been a few hours now. It's almost going on 3 hours. It's the yap. If I don't yap as much, the exercise can actually be finished quite quickly, but that's no fun. That's no fun. Gotta get the social interaction, right? The positive social reinforcement for this stream. But okay, enough yapping. If you're ready, we can continue to do the last plank, and it'll be 40 seconds. And we can do 40 seconds, and that will be our workout, and then we'll just conclude with kind of like a cool down, which again, if you have any sort of cardio that you feel comfortable or are able to do, like again, jumping jacks, again, just be mindful of your surroundings, because we are polite like that. If you know you're gonna stomp a lot, maybe not. You can stretch instead. You can just do a little bit of stretching, yoga, if you want to look up some yoga poses to do. And that will conclude our workout for today, which is amazing. I should just congratulate you here. I will also congratulate everyone at the end for their efforts and good work. Good work today. Yeah, super proud of everyone showing up, doing at least 1 or 2 exercises. If you did the whole thing, that's even cooler. So awesome. Yeah, so we're almost done. Let's go ahead and get into position for our last plank. 40 seconds. Let me just get the timer. And when you're ready, I'm gonna go ahead and start. And then it'll be 5 seconds. Again, if you wanna get started with your plank a little bit sooner, that's fine. Or wait until the 5 seconds, that's also fine. But here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's gonna be on 45 seconds. Got 4 seconds to get into position, and then up we go. Here we are in our plank. Again, form check. Our shoulders are, our hands and elbows are shoulder width apart. We're engaging the core. The tailbone, once again, is tucked in. Relaxing the shoulders. Staring straight ahead. Remembering to breathe. We're almost there. Got about 5 seconds. And there we go. All right, good job, good job. All done, all done. All right, carefully get out of there. You have completed 40 seconds, more or less, of a plank. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. I'm so tired, I couldn't even say good job. I just said glob. Good job, everyone. High five, yeah. Good job, scholars. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so, for me, I'm gonna roll up my yoga mat and then I'm gonna bring over the stationary bike. Glob to you too. In my delirium. This is what happens when you exercise for 3 hours. You lose your ability to talk. form coherent sentences. It's the exercise high. I don't know. I'm just making it up. I don't know. I always stumble on my words. That's nothing new. Okay, so good job, good job, good job. Very nice. Very, 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 very nice. We're going to get ready. You can yap for 2 and exercise. You mean you yap for 2 and exercise for what? What? Oh yeah, I yap for 2 hours and then I exercise for 1 hour. Is that what you're referring to, King? Oh man, let me set up Gym Buddy Poe really quick. Whew. What a workout. Let's see, I guess I did jumping jacks last time, so let me see. Just do treadmill running. Oh boy. I can like feel my heart beating. Yep. Yeah, this isn't entirely a workout stream. Sorry, it's clickbaity, huh? It's not real. All right, so I'm just gonna get Gym Buddy Poe into place. La la la. Oh. La la la. There we are. All right, Gym Buddy Poe is doing the cardio. Again, does this funny little thing, but we're doing cardio. So, all right, so that is our, again, if you have some kind of treadmill, oh, okay. If you're having issues, that's fine. Go ahead and just stretch, but yeah, so we're gonna cycle for, oh, I'm gonna cycle for 10 minutes. If anyone has a, once again, stationary bike, a treadmill that's just hanging out somewhere, maybe if you want to go walk around the block if it's safe, right? I would caution safety depending on your time zone. Or if you live in like some kind of apartment complex that might have a little gym that you can use for sure. Otherwise, you're welcome to stretch. We'll just get it started. So yeah. So let's see. We're just gonna slightly, ever so gently, cool down. Cycling. But yeah, lots of things I'm still trying to figure out on my end, but it's always really a highlight of a very, something I look forward to during the week when I can stream and exercise and be committed to doing these workouts on stream with folks, or you know, whatever. But you know, I always appreciate folks who, you know, come through and, you know, show up, show some support. But if not, that's also okay, right? Because like we all have lives, we all have things to do. But I'm really grateful, actually. I am very grateful for a lot of the support, past and present. from the community of scholars that have been so very dedicated, kind, and very understanding. I'd like to think everyone's very rational, but also developing skills as well and learning as much as they are teaching me as well. I learn a lot from you guys, which is helpful. And I just hope I can get to a point where I can create better resources. I talked about like some of my ambitions just earlier in this stream about like how I wanted to share like, you know, a goal setting worksheet that I have, and I just haven't figured out how to like make it into something. I'm still very indecisive, and it would be helpful for me to not be indecisive, but hey, you know, like we all go through our own you know, process, and unfortunately I do feel kind of bad sometimes that I can't deliver as fast as I want. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I do appreciate that. Yeah, it's I think it's really important to develop like a healthy boundary for yourself and others in any regard, internet or interpersonally, in person with people, but most importantly, interpersonally online. So something I wanted to bring up earlier, I think when we were doing either push-ups or sit-ups, it was like just before planks, I wanted to mention, so in addition to like watching like a few true crime things here and there, and you know, like learning examples from like commentary and like things to look out for to better keep yourself safe, I did catch up with some of the how do I say interpersonal problems of the online community. How should I say, like basically within VTuber sphere, there's always like things going on. So I've always, as you know, I don't really follow that stuff. I really don't. But I had too much time on my hand and I got a little distracted. So I ended up catching up to some of the quote unquote news of like a lot of interpersonal conflicts and how it was managed and how it, you know, blew up, and it's really, I mean, we're all human, you know, things will happen, and yeah, I think I was able to like catch up on like 2 or 3 different cases, maybe like 3 or 4 different cases, and I was like really interested in like finding ways to offer resources for situations like that. So for example, if you're in like a toxic relationship, whether in person or online, it's very difficult, because there was one case that I was like watching and reading about regarding a person who should have, rightfully so, left and ghosted and disconnected from a very toxic person who's very perceivably successful, but this person really reminded me of myself, because I was like, wow, this person really tried. Like, she really freaking tried. And like, damn, you know, she was one of those ride or die people. She was she was on your side as such a supporter, as a friend, and I just like, I really felt bad, but it's like, obviously both people are wrong because you can see the situation, but in that moment, it really struck me, because I'm like, oh man, it's like, I can really see how both sides are wrong, especially the person who I kind of like sympathize with, like even the female person in that situation. So I was like, oh man. And then it made me reflect on all the times I've made mistakes, which I have. Like, I'm not trying, I made mistakes, but they're never like, I wouldn't say they're mistakes, but like how bad is it, right? Like, but So yeah, it's got me reflecting and thinking, and like, I wonder, my thinking was, I wonder how much of these interpersonal conflicts could be resolved if they had like training, social skills that I'm still learning about. Does that make sense? Like, I'm still learning like, oh, emotional regulation. I'm still learning like, oh, emotional accountability methods, right? Again, I already forgot the name of the freaking method, but you know, and all these little things. And okay, so my understanding is that a lot of these like conflicts are very similar to like teenage quarrels. You know what I mean? Like, these people are like in their early to mid 20s, but the quote unquote interpersonal, yeah, thank you, ownership. I need to like stamp that on my forehead. Every time I look in the mirror, ownership. Own your emotions. I need to own your emotions. But yeah, no, so even when I was like in middle school and high school, I really didn't like those kinds of like gossipy things. Like, I used to watch Mean Girls, and I was like, oh yeah, it's very relatable. But as I got older, I really hated Mean Girls because it's actually it reveals something really ugly. It like, at first I watched it because I'm like, oh yeah, it's a movie, right? Oh, Lindsay Lohan, oh my man, and these characters are portrayed so well. The blonde girl who plays Regina, she's really good at playing that character. Like, holy cow, like, oh my god, like, she's so good at it that like it's I don't like the character trope. I don't like that character. Like, she's that good at it. I've seen her act in other films, and like, oh my gosh, she's like really cool. Like, wow, so cool. But yeah, when she played Regina, I was like, oh my god, she is like playing such a character. It's, what is it? It's the Queen Bee. It's very, and then so that kind of goes into my disdain. I don't know what to call it. Otherwise, I don't, like I mentioned earlier, I don't really like hive mentality. But at the same time, I value like a person who can like pivot. So for example, it's not hive mind if someone gives you advice and says, oh, maybe this is a better thing to do. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you think about it and you're like, hey, you know, I think you're right. You know, let me give it a try. And then you're like, hey, it actually turned out really good for me. Or like, actually, this was really bad. Never gonna do it again. You know, so I was like, you kind of have to think for yourself. And then see who's like offering the advice, and all these little like sources and like critical thinking, and that we just kind of like bypass when trust is involved. But anyways, so where am I going with this? So I was like watching all this, and I was like thinking to myself, man, if these individuals had resources, right? If they had awareness of their behavior, if they had emotional ownership skills, if they had emotional regulation, if they had like the awareness to possibly invest in therapy, like outside of streaming, right? Like, you can't tell me once a month you can't go see a therapist for XYZ. Like, you can't, what? I don't know about that. You can't schedule one day in a single month out of 12 months in a year to just see a doctor for your own mental health? Hello? What? Huh? But somehow you can be chronically online to, like, huh? Okay, but here's the other thing. It's for me, it's a money issue. For me, it's a money issue. For them, it's not a money issue, because some of these are like really well known. Like, they have money. So, okay, so if money is not an issue, then my question is, what's stopping you from seeking therapy either in network within your insurance, or without, like, out of network and you pay out of pocket, or whatever, or figure out something with your company or whatever. Like, what's stopping you there? For me, and for many others, money is very much an issue. The healthcare system isn't always looking out for us. It's weird because if you think about it, and this was like mentioned before to me, mental health is like one of the few industries where it's like they don't, so how do I say it? Their goal is to get you out of mental health. Like, they don't want you stuck. That's like the goal. Recovery or treatment plan that you can like apply outside of the hospital or medical setting. That's the goal. Recovery, live your life, you know. But it's kind of weird because then like they don't profit from that either. So it's like, well, so what side are you on? Like, what's your intention? But anyways, that's like a whole other discussion. So that was just something I was thinking, like, man, if some of these people had the skills or awareness to get help for themselves, maybe they feel like it's not a problem because, again, they think this is normal. This is all they've ever known. And so it kind of takes someone to kind of like shake them out of this, like, hey, you know, you need help. This is beyond me. I care about you. That's why I'm like advising you, like, please seek help if you can afford it, or at least be aware that you are like this and like try to figure out how to regulate, look up some articles, read up on your condition, right? Read up on your alcoholism, read up on your depression, read up on your XYZ, you know, your family dysfunction that's contributing to your outbursts, etc., etc. I don't know, like, it can be anything, right? So yeah, it's a lot. We are doing great. I feel like I was able to, oh, that's the other thing. I need to do my 5-minute stretching, so I need that timer back. Huh, let's go. All right, so we have finished the 10-minute cycling. Good job, good job. Well, whoever was able to do the cardio, if you just stretched, cool down after the workout, awesome. I'm gonna intentionally stretch for another 5 minutes as we wrap up our thoughts. Here we go. But yeah, so I think for me, if you're in the server, I've been posting, well, I haven't recently, but I was dropping a lot of like, I was curating a lot of resources that I found very helpful from what I believe to be credible sources. Again, you would have to look at them yourself and then decide, oh, okay. But they're usually from women who are, they have a license to be a therapist or counselor of some kind, and then they're sharing their resources. Other resources I found have been very helpful are like students who are like documenting their PhD like journey, and then they're sharing information from what they learned. And I'm like, wow, I'm basically getting like a bite-sized knowledge from a PhD student learning something in psychology or whatnot. So what I do is like, I not just like absorb it and think I know everything. No, like I try to like apply it. So especially with the emotional ownership method, I thought that was very, very interesting when I found out about it. And I was like, ever since I found out about it, it's kind of been like in my mind, in my subconscious, in the forefront of my brain. And so there are moments where I think, oh, how do I take ownership of how I'm feeling when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling upset, or etc., right? For like future situations as well as more recent situations that are affecting me, blah, 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 right? Like, so it's all that. Yeah, so resources, knowledge, education, community, very important. And I think it's really important not to, like I said earlier, put all your eggs in one place, or in one person, or in one thing. You know, keep a few eggs to yourself, keep it, you know. But we're in a really weird time right now. We're in a very, very, very weird time. I speak as I crack my back. Ooh, that was a nice little stretch. I feel a lot better. Oh my god, like my shoulder is so much more not tense. I think it's the warm up and being really mindful of the posture and pose and form of my exercise as well. I don't know about you guys, but I'm like feeling pretty awesome. Yeah. It's the oxytocin. I don't know if it's oxytocin. It's one of those happy hormones. But anyways, yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, awareness, taking accountability, and like being proactive in your own recovery. It's really scary. It's really hard. again, there's a few things on my plate that I haven't come to terms with. So once I come to terms with it in my own body, in my own mind, I would like to share my findings, teachings, experiences, blah, 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 blah. And then you guys can, you know, run with it in any direction. But until then, I'm kind of just still processing, you know, my thing. But yeah. Oh, so it's not physical contact, but I have been like, you know, like when you stretch, I guess it doesn't really count. I guess it's more like external physical contact. Okay. Serotonin? Dopamine? I don't think it's dopamine. I think it might be more like serotonin. It's hard to say. I'm gonna look up, actually really quick, I'm gonna look up, oh, there's another pop. Let's see. What is it? Happy hormones from exercise. Maybe something will come up. What happy hormones are? Exercise boosts the production of endorphins. Oh, that's the one. It helps relieve pain, reduces stress, and improves the mood. Engaging in physical activities like running, dancing, swimming can lead to feelings of happiness and sense of well-being. Wow! A natural way to be happy. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of like, it reminds me of cultures that do like dancing. Like a lot of the really cool indigenous cultures, they have like ceremonies, right? Like they have like their annual or monthly or like seasonal. Oh, stretching is over. They have their like ceremonies where they, you know, they dress up, they perform, they dance, they sing, they shout, they yell, you know, they make music, they you know, they have instruments like drums and other, you know, handmade instruments, and you know, they just, yeah, you know, that's a form of socializing. They're able to dance and be out in the open in nature. It's really nice. I guess that's kind of like a very primal way to say like convert that, like translate that over to like concerts, outdoor concerts, I guess is really similar. So I can understand why people like those types of outdoor activities. Yeah. But I really think that exercise is the way to go, guys. I don't think I saw that. My hand just did a little, oh, that was so funny. I need to clip that. Oh my god, that's so funny. My hand just did this weird loop-de-loop, and then it gave a thumbs up. I have so many little things I need to fix, but like I want to fix the sensitivity and everything, but it's like I haven't been able to like sit myself down and like adjust every little slider and figure out, oh, you know, the perfect thing. And that's my own little like thing, you know. But yeah, other news, other announcements. I have been keeping up with current events, and it is bleak, but I just hope that you can continue taking care of yourself out there and continue to show up for yourself in ways that advocate for yourself first and foremost. And yeah, it is what it is, right? It's like we just have to do our best to navigate our environment, adapt, you know, apply what we know. Any last thoughts, reflections? I do want to thank everyone for being here. I hope the exercise streams have been motivating, encouraging to do positive, constructive things, to activities, to kind of, I don't know, I like to think I'm trying to be resilient. I want to think that exercising, taking care of yourself is an act of resilience, you know? Like, hey, I'm still here, gosh darn it, and I'm gonna do the best I can to take care of myself, and I'm gonna take this as like a little mini game, kind of like, you know, treating life as like a game. Yeah. Well, I am doing the best I can given the skills that I know, and it's a little frustrating because, like I said earlier, I want to like share a lot of the things that are in my mind, but to like sit down, put it all down on paper, create it in such a way that's engaging and helpful for someone else is really like, there's a wall in front of me and I hate it, and I just want to like punch it and be like, go away, like go away. I want to break down this weird stupid wall that's invisible and just get it done, you know? Like there's a few other things that are like preventing me from doing it, and it's all very much mental. It's not but then the mental affects the physical. So there's that. So I am trying very hard to like give myself grace, and I do this weird thing where I believe in like divine timing, which is not good because it's almost like I'm explaining my procrastination through this weird lens of like divine timing. But I mean, that's like how I'm coping and not giving myself a hard time. Like, I'm telling myself there's a reason why I'm not able to push this boulder, push through this wall that's in front of me. And so when the time is ready, I will do it. It'll be natural. I don't need to wait for it. I will do it when I can do it. I will do it when I am ready. And this takes a lot of pressure, takes a lot of guilt, takes a lot of shame away from me, which is good. Like, I don't want the negative emotions associated with like not doing something. So I am very, very beyond grateful that you're patient. There is urgency. There is urgency, but when you're not trained, it's very overwhelming. Like, in my mind's eye, like if this were like an anime, right? If this were an anime, I see Poette in the middle of like devastation and not knowing who to help first, what to do first, what to rebuild, and it's paralyzing. That's what it feels like right now. And I think the first thing to do is just take a step forward, right? And doing the best we can. So again, thank you for continuing to show up even to these weekly exercise streams, and continue to advocate for yourself and doing the research and being curious. If anything, I'm really glad that I can actually bring curiosity, if anything, to some of these subject matters, whether it's related to gender identity, and all that stuff. So, yeah. But I appreciate everyone. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Lennis Gremlin, thank you so much for being here, and Jamie, Adley, and for the scholars that are lurking, listening, tuning in. I hope this could have brought a little bit of comfort and care to your life. It's not easy to acknowledge the emotions that we feel, and it's too easy to project it onto people and blame them. And sometimes you have to remind yourself that not everything was your fault, and you're just doing the best you can. So thank you guys. Thank you, scholars. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate your attempts to want to bring positivity and connect with something within yourself that wants to heal. So I will be back again next Wednesday. I will do my best to arrange a few streams where I can practice Japanese with you guys and present my, you know, my Japanese, and maybe we can learn some new ways of expressing ourselves through a different language, through a different culture, and keep our minds open to the larger world out there. Thank you, everyone.